Welcome to Session 7 of Shadows Under Arbor. The timeline of events that has occurred thus far has seen you travel across Arbor's fair city from its darkest places to some of its brightest, and even in those bright spots, see terrible tragedy. We see as you travel from the twigs from the library to the business place of one Mr. Ripple Finch. And as you're driving along, a newspaper is in the cubby hole. Are you taking the Checker's taxi again? Or are you walking?
How far is it?
We're in a second ring, aren't we?
It is in the second ring. You could take a Checker's taxi part of the way, and then walk for the rest of the way. We still necessitate a random encounter check, but the DC might be a little different.
I'm happy to walk.
You can walk part of the way, sure. Yeah. Take a Checker's taxi. But as you're driving along part of the way, you do still need to pay your 100 leaves, so whoever wants to pay for that. A newspaper sitting in the kind of cubby, the reading material that provided for all to read. And a number of headlines are a headline for, if you'd like to pick one, Joe.
Oh,
this is an interesting one. Information. Secrets beyond the veil. Answers from the departed. Gentle reader, have you ever found yourself pondering the mysteries left unanswered by those who have shuffled off this mortal coil? Has a loved one passed without imparting their final wishes? A will, misplaced or worse, concealed by unscrupulous hands? Despair no longer, for I, Persephone Graves, have been gifted with the rare and singular ability to commune with the dead and unearth the truths they carried their graves. Through my delicate connection to the spectral plane, I have answered inquiries of every conceivable nature, the whereabouts of lost treasures, the names of secret heirs, even whispered confessions that might alter the course of justice itself. Such revelations, I must confess, come at great personal cost, as it is no small thing to traverse the boundary between living and the departed. Among my most remarkable cases, a grieving widow sought her late husband's lost will. Through patient supplication and the lighting of consecrated candles, I discerned his spirit's faint murmurs. He directed me to the very floorboard beneath which the document lay, undisturbed yet nearly forgotten. Imagine her astonishment and gratitude. Yet, gentle reader, let me caution you. The dead do not lie idle. They yearn for resolution, for their final truths to be spoken aloud. Be warned that the answers I provide may not always be those one wishes to hear. Some secrets are too dark, too heavy for the living to bear without consequence. Information. This is false. Information. Should you find yourself haunted by questions unanswered or mysteries unsolved, you may seek me out. My services are offered not for profit, but for the sanctity of truth and the easing of restless souls. Leave word at the offices of this very paper, the Factory Gazette, and I shall attend to your plight with discretion and care. Remember, dear reader, the veil between life and death is thinner than we dare imagine. Step lightly, for those who dwell beyond are always listening.
A article about the dead, their unrequited requests and desires. A mirror to the conversation you had at the end of last session with a Mr. Cooper.
I think that's the reason that draws people's eye, because that's exactly what it does. And I think it wants to know if that's genuine, or if it's someone who is using the same spell it is using.
Would anyone like to read the other article?
I'm happy to read that other one. Seems appropriate. Murder, magic and mayhem of the walls. Yesterday evening, the precarious piece of the walls, a labyrinthine apartment nestled between the city's first and second rings, was shattered by violence most alarming. The Greencloaks were summoned to investigate an altercation involving the notorious Red Nose Gang and an unnamed party, leaving at least one dead and the community in disarray. Witnesses claim that the gang attempted to force entry into the modest home of a young girl and her brother, whose names have been withheld for their safety. As the Red Noses pounded furiously upon the door, a mysterious group descended upon them with what one observer described as ungodly fury. The leader of this enigmatic band, a figure clad in the scorched tatters of a red Union uniform, is alleged to have conjured forth a fiery demon, the infernal apparition, erupting with unnatural flames, reportedly immolated several gang members where they stood. Following this terrifying display, all witnesses promptly bolted their doors, leaving the remainder of the battle shrouded in conjecture. When the Greencloaks arrived, they discovered only the grim aftermath, patches of ash, the bitter tang of smoke, and the scorched remnants of violence near the siblings' door. A spokesman for the Cloaks confirmed the Red-Nosed Gang's presence, but could offer no explanation for their motives. Collegiate mages have since been dispatched to conduct scrying spells, seeking traces of unlicensed magic. Who were these mysterious defenders of the innocent? Benevolent citizens turned vigilantes? Shadowy agents of the unseen? Their influence now creeping as far as the walls? And what business had the Red Noses at this humble apartment? The Factory Gazette will persist in its pursuit of the truth, dear reader. Rest assured, as we uncover questions to these burning questions, you shall be the first to know.
A article of the events that transpired within the apartment walls. And while the Factory Gazette and the Greencloaks only found one body, you know there were at least 3. So, I think those are the relevant articles. There is another, a story, that ongoing information, but it is not relevant to your current plight, so perhaps we will skip it today and move on to the current and relative things. If you'd like to roll me a d20 for the random encounter as you make your way from the second ring.
12.
12, that's a random encounter. Need the right one. So if I roll the wrong one, you'll get the really bad ones.
The long rest that we've done,
Yes.
has that already happened then?
Yes, that has already occurred.
Where, during the long rest, I was going to be going and spying on the Physica, the apothecary who...
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
we should resolve some of these things. So you were going to spy upon the Physica to
Yeah.
see what they were doing, why they were offering cheap rates, and those kinds of things. And so you make me there are 2 checks I want you to make.
Yep.
An investigation check to find them,
Mm-hmm.
and then a stealth check, if you choose to do so, to remain hidden.
I will be supplementing... No, I didn't have any spell slots left. I would have had my racial disguise self, though. So I've used that to at least not look like myself.
Okay.
I think I would have looked like the goblin, because that's what someone suggested, and yeah.
So, say investigation first. 16 on the die.
Oh, that's going to be more than enough.
I think it's a 21.
21.
Yeah.
You easily locate this man. He is a Physica operating out of the twigs.
Okay.
Already there is... I don't know that Pupil has the kind of insight needed to discern what a Physica operating in the twigs with the kind of countenance and look he has.
Stealth is an 18. So.
Stealth an 18, so you do not see... you are not observed, or you are not... Or observed, I think the word I would use here is you are not minded.
Yeah.
Most people will pass you by in the same way that this is going to sound cruel, that people pass by a beggar on the street.
Oh, that's the aim of this, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that is the kind of...
People's been casting invisibility long before people had second level spells.
Yeah, this is a very similar kind of thing. So as you're standing outside, you observe a number of people very desperate, very in great need, people who have had limbs removed in horrible factory incidents where there is still blood like pouring out of very badly bandaged wounds. And they will go in, and some of them will come back out with better bandages. But you begin to discern very quickly that not all of them are making their way back out. And it's not the ones that you would have expected. You would have expected the most horrific injuries to be the ones that enter but never leave. But it seems to be in reverse. The ones in the
least injured are the ones not returning.
Are out returning, and that kind of gets your cogwheels moving into some kind of possibility. Now, based on your check from that you passed, I think what Pupil does with that is he begins to observe what's happening, and you watch a man enter. And you observe him as he goes inside. He has a minor cut on his hand. He's checking it out because he believes that he might get infected from it, or might have some kind of longer lasting. He's just looking for a few stitches. He comes in. He's sedated, the usual. He doesn't even realize he's been sedated, though. He passes out onto the doctor's chamber, and the doctor smiles with glee and begins to drain this man of all of his vitae and fluid. As it comes out, it's kind of, there are points where it glows slightly. And then once he is done, he presses a button. The body of this now very dead man slides down underneath the chamber and vanishes. And now he has a jar sitting on a nearby countertop that glows slightly. And the next person comes in who's missing a limb. And he takes the jar and he applies it to the person. And you're watching as the wound heals far quicker than normal. And this is what Pupil observes, this kind of transactional thing.
Does Detect Magic proc anything of this?
You have regular Detect Magic.
Yeah.
You get some amount of slight necromancy from him. From, not just from him, but from some of his instruments that he's using. Specifically the needles he uses to inject into the people when they are drained, and the ones he uses when he's healing. The jar itself doesn't seem to have any innate magic in of its own, or at least anything that you can detect as magic.
The moment Pupil observes this, Pupil starts scanning for the next person coming to the door. The next person who looks like they are going to be drained because they look uninjured.
Sure.
And will basically just tug on a sleeve if they're waiting. If there's like a line at the door, we'll just tug on the sleeve.
It's an older woman who looks like she may just have like a slight limp in her hip, just a little bit, but not too bad. Oh,
I think Pupil will also have dropped Disguise Selves. Will look like an artifact at this point.
Okay.
And we'll say, information. It isn't artifacts. Information. And Pupil is going to lie at this point. Is going to give it a go at lying.
Okay, sure.
And say, and I'm hoping that will be smoothed over by the fact that I say, owned by a rich person, it is doing charitable works. Information. A query. What is your name?
Oh, Mary, dear.
Mary.
Mary Weasel.
Perfect. I say, information. Mary Weasel, you have been selected to receive a charitable donation. And we'll hand like 20 leaves.
Oh, thank you, dearie.
Information. This is the good work of the... I've forgotten the name of my family.
Oh, jeez.
Colborne.
Yes.
I would like to lie. I would like to roll deception if I can.
Sure. Yeah.
Also, possibly like. I'm just gonna roll and see what happens. 8.
She rolled a natural 1 on her insight. So.
Wow. Okay. Fair. Yeah. So I'll say information. Good luck with your recovery, and then we'll leave, knowing that it will be able to contact her spirit later with Commune Shade and find out what it felt like to be drained.
Okay. So she pockets the 20 leaves, and then enters. And
I will leave. Fully leave.
Okay.
Oh yeah. There's nothing new to be seen there.
Okay.
So.
Cool. So that's what I thought.
Yeah.
How?
Actually, I think it won't interact any further.
Sure.
It will just slump down like a beggar, hood over the face, and just make sure that she doesn't leave.
Sure. You wait a suitable amount of time, and she does not leave.
Great, cool. I also removed 100 for the taxi earlier.
Yep, cool. Does anyone else want to do anything before?
Yeah, Monica overindulged a little bit.
You did.
And we chatted briefly about what I think that would look like. Should we elucidate for the recording?
Sure. So I believe you said that you were going to find somebody that was involved in a domestic violence situation.
Yes.
And try and interject yourself into that.
My plan is to basically, when the man is coming home, but not home yet, contrive some way of getting the woman out.
Yeah.
Disguising myself as her with the hat of disguise. Sure. And then, when he walks in, cast Shillelagh on a chair and hit him with it to knock him out.
Sure.
Tie him up.
Yep.
And then, plan was to originally to threaten him, put the fear of God in him, the flames in him and whatnot. But then I think it might have gotten a little bit overboard.
I agree. So I think there's a question I need to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you deliberately avoid anyone where there was children involved? Would Monica think of that kind of situation?
I'm gonna roll a d20.
Sure. I would think about this from a player perspective as well, before you decide to let fate take the reins on this one.
Oh yeah, no, this is more how much thought she would put into it.
Sure.
And she has put a lot of thought into it.
Sure.
So I'm thinking that she would have purposefully picked someone who does not have children.
Sure. Cool. So, you contrive some story to get this woman out of the house. It is successful. She leaves on an errand, thinking that she has, she's won a small prize and she needs to go to the market to collect it. She is perfectly happy to do this. You smooth that over. You sneak into her house afterwards and you wait. And there's not long before this man shows up, and he's a pretty big guy. Pretty, he has a weight about him that gives him enough throw in his belly that he feels he can get away with most anything. But he's not expecting you.
I figure as he goes to, I pull a chair up for him. As he goes to sit down, I sweep it away from under him so he falls down. Yeah. And then, having cast Shillelagh on him on the wooden chair, bring it down onto his head.
As he hits the ground, he turns. Are you getting ideas, you dumb bitch? And then, and the chair just crushes down on top of him, and you kill him.
Oh, I was going to go worse than that.
He dies.
Get a chance.
He dies instantly and crumples to the ground. But that's not the worst of it. The worst of it is the hat comes off, and the door opens, and she's standing there, looking at somebody wearing a full outfit of the Red Cloaks, of the Red Union, brutalizing her. You think husband. You didn't get enough information. You think husband, lover, boyfriend, something of that nature. And she screams loudly, and you hear a whistle of the Green Cloaks, and you need to run.
I run.
And you run into the night as fast as you can. And you hear the whistling, and you hear, just as you're going out of earshot, you hear a description begin to be read out.
I wouldn't just run.
Okay.
The dog would rise up from the shadows, and then we would both disappear in flame.
Cool.
Neat.
All right. Anyone for anything else?
Yeah, can I leave a message for... I've forgotten their name. Was it Watcher or...
Whisper, Secret, and Arbiter.
Yeah.
Who was the mute one? Was that Whisper?
No, Secret.
Secret.
Secret, yeah.
Yeah. So...
It's a secret.
Yeah, because... although Monta was the one who observed everything, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah. Yeah, and they're the ones who like to stay up high.
They keep an eye on things, yeah.
Yeah. So,
There's also Messenger, but they're...
yeah, I'm more interested in knowing what they've seen. Do I see them? Otherwise, they plan to leave a note somewhere up high.
If you go looking for them, you find them.
Okay, cool.
There's a kind of thing in place.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I will have a quick look around because this is going to be after the letter is being delivered.
Sure. Yeah. You've read it.
I've read it.
Who's read it?
It will be Victor.
Okay. Cool.
So yes.
Does the reading of the letter upset Victor enough? Or has he come to terms with that? Is that one of the things that he actually is stable?
Yeah, that doesn't bother him very much. If anything, it gives him a twisted pleasure.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I can elaborate more, but it will be in
fair
secret at
enough.
this stage.
Sure.
But yeah, so Victor will go looking for a watcher. Just yeah.
All right. You find her. She's currently poring over a set of documents from multiple sources. You see a couple of different things. You see something like there's like the start of a dossier. It just says Ekni Key on the top of it, and you see some other bits and pieces kind of like floating around this area.
Cool.
Yes. What can I do for you?
Okay, because he was about to knock on the door, but yes. Does she kind of say that without even looking round?
Yeah, she seems to have noticed your presence.
I mean, I'm walking with a cane, so
Yeah,
you hear me coming. Oh yes, the letter that was left for me.
Yes, yes.
How did it arrive?
By courier.
Oh, what did they look like?
Let me see. Remember, courier for you. Yes, the young man came. It was quite not lizard-like in nature. It looked like. Well, it was definitely one of the Darknall's couriers. They have quite they have a lapel pin that marks them. It's quite distinctive. Looks like kind of like the great tree, but with some extra accoutrement around it. Yes, it was one of theirs.
Oh yes. I think I know the one that you're talking
Were you looking for something specific?
No. I was just wondering if you what they looked like. Do you see? So.
Yes. They were standard Darknall courier. They didn't send anyone special or anything of that nature. Were you hoping they sent somebody more important?
Oh no, not at all. Just yes, the contents of the letter caught by curiosity. But it's fine. I'll formulate a response.
Is there something? Well, would you like to have the services of messenger? He can get into the places where the Darknall family resides. He does have those permissions.
No, not at all. No. I was just curious who or how it was delivered. You see,
a courier from the Darknalls.
Yes. Well, okay. Yes. Well, thank you very much.
I would say it is quite curious that the Darknalls sent a courier rather than sending either Butterfly or Fox. They must have taken whatever they decided to send you quite seriously.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yes. It's a simple misunderstanding that I'll clear up. So
I have not read the letter, so I don't know what's inside it.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Well. Yes. No. They've just mistaken me for someone else. It's entirely fine. Yes.
Is it something that we need to be apprised of so that we may correct those misunderstandings as well?
Yeah. Yes. Well, once I have formulated a response, I shall share both the letter and the response with yourselves.
Oh,
if
very
that
well.
would.
That would be lovely.
Yes. I mean,
Thank you
you've been generous enough to let me stay. So, Yes, I'll happily.
Our facilities are open to you for as long as you wish.
It's very kind. Do you need a hand at all? Or?
No. I need to go through all of these things and decide your next case when it comes up, and some other cases for some other groups that we have available to us. It is mostly paper pushing and boring work, monitoring our various agents in the field.
Yes. Oh, but yes, I'll leave you to it. Well, have a good day.
Thank you.
And yeah, he'll wander off.
As you walk out, you see Secret just standing behind the door
Yeah.
the whole time, and just waves.
She waves at Victor, but is unsettled by me. Just because I keep finding and staring at her.
Yeah. So.
You're okay.
You must be a stick take over the laptop.
Yeah. You've almost summed up the Me Too movement.
So.
Yeah, cool.
Do you have anything?
I don't need to have a long rest, so I don't think I'll be going out and about, but I think I'll be replaying the Memoria a few more times, and maybe I'll get the crow's opinion on... Is that me?
I mean, well, it's a lot less hairy than you are now, right, Mouse? But, I mean, things change, people change, all kinds of things can happen.
Great help.
Look, what do you want me... I can't... I've got really good eyes, but it's not going to help you all that much. Because it's just a Memoria. It only plays that little bit, and that's it.
I think my favourite individual moment, definitely of last session, possibly of Arbor so far, was you saying to the crow, "Can't you breathe fire?" The crow replied, "Do you want to be on fire? I can get a match." Honestly, Brad.
So, with that, you all reconvene. You take the Checkers taxi, and you begin.
Before that, I make sure to hand over the cigar cutter to the arbiters.
Very well. I think, in terms of what you were thinking, the cigar cutter wouldn't have occurred to you in terms of that level of maliciousness. It's a step further than you were intending.
Mm-hmm.
So, you hand the cigar cutter to the arbiter. Actually, what you do is you put it on his desk, and you find he's not there. But you find like a spot in the desk where it feels right to put it.
I wouldn't. No, I would not. I would want to give it directly to the arbiter, or handing over Memoria.
Mm-hmm.
I was meant to give it directly to the arbiter.
Not necessarily. You haven't been appraised as to what you're supposed to do with them.
We gave the necklace over, but that was just because he was there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is there like an envelope?
Yes, there was an envelope on his desk.
Okay, a blank envelope. I'm not gonna...
A black envelope, technically, but yeah.
Are all of his envelopes black?
Not all of them, but a lot of them are.
Is it the black envelope that feels like the right one?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, I'll pop it in there.
Yeah.
Sealed up.
See
Get a
this.
piece of paper and just scribble one cigar cutter Memoria dangerous. Underline that 3 times.
You find that there is already a pool of burning wax, like a melted wax in like a little ladle, effectively, for you to seal it if you wish to do that.
Yeah.
And including next to it is the seal of the arbiter, which is the flower, the one you've seen on all your missives.
I probably wouldn't use his seal for it.
You can use what could you could use one of your buttons as well. It needs to be metal.
Yeah.
Ideally. Metal or plastic, and there's no plastic, so yeah, use one of your buttons, which has. Do you sell your? So your buttons would have the seal of the Red Union on them.
But it would be a little bit melted.
A little bit melted. So what was once a phoenix in flames is now just kind of this melted bird.
It's the angriest seagull in the tree.
It is like that curry-covered seagull.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I'm going to look that up after this
Yes,
session.
he is a really weird seagull. So yeah, you seal it, you place it on his desk, and you leave, leaving anything behind. As you are now Now we reconvene, and now we travel.
Yeah.
I can't give you that one because you've already done that one.
Hmm.
That's the problem.
It's that same guy who got stuck in a different alley.
it was. I was like, Jesus Christ, no. All right, let's see what it rolled. Cool. As you're traveling, this is a very good one. As you're traveling from
The twigs to the second ring.
for the tweaks to the second ring, but you most specifically because you took the car part of the way, and as you travel,
I'm no longer looking like Monica. I'm just some nondescript young woman with brown hair.
as you're traveling from there to there, you come across a kind of town square in the second ring, large public squares. An eerie silence falls over it as you make your way across this place. I need to change the music. Which one is this? Nope. Yep, it's that one.
Whereas my hazardous guys needs a chin strap.
You live and learn. Someone else doesn't.
I was originally going to cut all his fingers off with a cigar cutter.
Yep.
Do you wear the mask underneath the disguise?
Yeah, so you're still hearing.
An eerie silence falls over Arbor as you make your way to one of the many large public squares. In the distance, you can hear the sound of the fountain, though its usual melodic noise is replaced by a strange gurgling noise. As you round the corner, you discover the reason for both the lack of noise from the populace and the odd gurgling sound. A small crowd has gathered around the marble fountain in the center of this square, gaping and gawking at the red liquid gushing from its spigots. Occasionally, the liquid escapes the confines, spraying the floor red. The large smear coats the front of the fountain where the blood dribbles down from one of its openings, and every so often a gurgle emanates from it as a chunk of coagulated blood works its way through the pipes. A solitary man stands ramrod straight in front of the fountain, unmoving, his back to you and to the crowd. As you approach, the man remains still. When you circle around to face him, you find that he has been hollowed out, his entire chest torn open, ribcage splayed for all to see. Most disturbing of all, though, is the rise and fall of his lungs and the beating of his heart, and the look of terror in his paralyzed eyes.
That's unusual.
Extraordinarily.
Does this look like people have not seen this before? This isn't a recurring...
No. This is something that everyone is just... It is so horrifying and terrifying and unusual and strange, and people are trying to figure out, is this a memoria? Is this something that's happened? And there's like just the tiniest of whispers, but nothing. No one is making a move to call anyone or do anything. It is, there's what's it called?
Bystander effect?
That's the one. Everyone seems to have that at the moment. Like any movement will kill this man. That is the prevailing feeling across this.
Can I slowly approach him?
Yep.
Because you said he's been hollowed out, but we can see the heart and lungs. Are there any other organs that are visible?
If you look more closely, you can see the rest of it, and you can see every so often you'll see kind of like a movement in his intestines, so they kind of like
Peristalsis.
yeah, something moves along, but it's very subtle, very slight.
Pupil will cast Disguise Self because it is very visible, and that is very not what it wants right now.
Sure.
And will walk up. Is Victor approaching?
Yes.
Yeah. We'll walk up along with Victor,
Yeah.
disguised as nondescript halfling number 3. And we'll
Could it
say just loud enough for the man to hear, query, what happened to you?
Yes. So you appear to be in need of medical attention.
Bloody.
Similar to that, there's a limit to what I can manage. Yeah. So he's like standing on the edge of the fountain, and in order to see him, you kind of have to go around him. And he just is... It's like he has the same kind of effect as the people around him. He can't... any movement, any thought, anything that is not doing everything he can to stay alive will kill him. So he is paralyzed in the fear of his own death, which you immediately pick up.
What are the clothes of?
Somebody quite wealthy, actually.
So we are on the way to the second ring. Are we in the second
You're
ring?
in the second rings. You're on. This is like a very big plaza. This would be very wealthy, kind of, not super wealthy, but like working class, up like middle class, kind of like crossover. There is money.
Recognize this person?
No, none of you would recognize this person. And partially because his face is in such a state, and his body is in such a state that anything recognizable about him would be lost to you.
Cool.
And it is so quiet.
I've got Detect Magic up. Does that proc anything?
So I'm going to extend what Detect Magic does in your case because you've been using it for so long to give you a little bit of extra.
Mm-hmm.
There is the subtlest hint of a song in the detection of magic that you are hearing, and it is so quiet, but you can't focus on it. It's like just outside your periphery, but it's there and quiet.
I will quietly share that with the team.
Cool. Okay, so I'll enter crisis mode in the fact that I will point someone, like whoever's in the crowd,
Sure.
and I will say, fetch the green cloaks.
You say that to him, and he kind of this man who looks like he just came off of work, looks very tired, kind of like scraggly, and kind of like a big beard, goes almost falls as he kind of like comes out of his stupor. He goes, yeah.
I will get another person from the crowd and just reach up with my little horrible metal hand and just tug them with a hand.
I think that like you grab like a young lady's hands and she just falls. She just like the energy is fallen out of her.
Query: how long have you been here?
She kind of looks around, trying.
I
to
will
figure out
expend
where
the
she
use
is.
of my healer's kit
Ooh.
to just not to do anything in terms of restoring hit points, just to make her feel better. I'll get a little pillow out and smelling salts and.
She goes. Looks up at the sky to see kind of like time. Looks around.
Information. It is the nth of n.
A few hours.
Information. You have been standing here for a few hours.
I need to get home to my children. Is he your master?
I look like a halfling right now,
Oh, okay.
but I do have horrible metal hands. So
That's true. So there's kind of like a
Yeah.
She goes, are you a doctor?
information. It is a pupil. It is an observer.
I don't understand. I need to go. I'm gonna go.
I think pupils drinking this in.
Yeah. She collects herself, picks herself up, grabs, like clutches her skirts, and just kind of like begins moving away in a way that is kind of both stumbling and purposeful. There's fear in the movement as well, and now as you guys have kind of broken some of that spell, the whispers and the murmurs begin to come through as people go, it's so horrible, I can't believe it, but he's still alive. We should do something.
Going to grab.
What happened to this man?
You just ask in general, or
Yeah, quick.
and then I think everyone, I think one of the maybe one of the bravest ones, or maybe one of the ones who's just you've kind of triggered a kind of subconscious like response, and just says, the artist.
Query: who is the artist?
And then he kind of like comes back, I don't know. It's horrible, isn't it?
Information. Yes.
Look how the cuts are so So
I have a question about the capability of healing potions, specifically the ones that I like, so cure wounds in this case,
sure.
because mechanically,
Do
obviously,
you want to say can you fix this?
yeah, or
So
because magical healing, but he has no insides, so
he has.
like
Yeah,
His insides are outside.
There's
right now.
insides or outsides right now.
Yeah.
There is a lot of. I think you realize you go to do your medicine stuff. You take your potions, you take your poultices, you begin mixing, and then I think you realize the only thing that will help this man is a miracle from the tree. The magics I have on hand, the potions I have. You know of potions that might be able to bridge that gap and get him to there. But it's not anything.
It's
you
not the
carry.
ones we bought from that
No.
that shop in the wall.
No. You need serious magic for this.
Is there anyone in the crowd that doesn't belong? That's like, is anyone there who's pretending to be?
Make a
mesmerised?
perception check.
Can I assist with that?
Sure.
What's the
Give it
check?
a
Sorry.
Perception.
Perception.
21.
21.
That's a great question.
Because an artist's going to want to admire his handiwork.
So, do you see how the thing's laid out like Roman column style, and there are multiple little entrances all on the side, and there is a man in a half mask, broken thing, kind of watching from above. When you spot him, specific music. Where is that music?
But given that I'm looking for someone in the crowd, I'm not going to be too obvious about it.
You're kind of like scanning the crowd, and that's the thing. As you're scanning the crowd, you realize that everyone is kind of staring at this point, this person. But they're staring in a way that they're trying to avoid looking directly at it. And you're looking for the person who's looking directly at it. And more specifically looking for the results of his actions, which is maybe the point is the crowd's reaction. And you see somebody in one of the upper
Balcony thing.
balconies,
Like
kind of
this-
area-
this
yeah,
level.
that kind of side there, who's just staring down and just looking and observing, and you begin to hear a soft music that is difficult to hear, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Did we get a recap point for everyone, or?
Yeah, sure.
Hey!
Oh, baby!
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
It was
So-
4 originally.
Oh,
You hear the music, and you feel what it's trying to do. You feel it's trying to make you forget him. But you resist it. So instead,
How far away is he?
he is probably about 120 feet away from you, up in the upper areas. He's far enough away that he thinks he thinks he's probably safe or can not be observed, and he's hiding pretty well. And maybe only because everyone else is in a stupor, he's gotten cocky, or he's taken a risk, or maybe there's something else there. But the thing that was trying to make you forget, that's what you see. That's what you see behind him. And you really wish you hadn't. A face that is smooth and white, with teeth from a human that should have razors. It is long and like worm-like, and there are 4, 5, 6 of these faces all behind him. And then as it realizes you are watching, they all, not fast, like not like a predator being like a caught, or like a prey being stumbled upon, but like an acknowledgement of, I understand, you've seen me, and that's okay for now. And then the masked man also disappears backwards. you still hear the music. And with that, I think now that things are beginning to move, the green cloaks appear. They begin to assess the situation. Right, we're just gonna everyone back away, everyone back away. We're gonna be dealing with this, and you see more of them showing up and beginning to like try and like get the crowd dispersed as quickly as they can.
Query: has this happened before?
Looks down at the halfling. God, I hope not. This is way beyond my pay grade. This is not something that I'm going to deal with. We're going to make sure that he's okay. We're going to, cordon the whole area off. We're going to get some, we're going to need some healers in here. Everyone just back away from now. We're going to close this area off. We're going to cordon the area, make sure, everything. This is now a crime scene. Everyone back away.
Would I have had time while that
Sure.
incredible thing was happening to have just swept his pockets for ID to try and find out what his name is?
Ooh, make a sleight of hand check.
I would really love to. Ooh, do I want to use inspiration on that? Yes, I do. Ooh, that's so much better. It's been a real turnaround. They've turned around, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
can only imagine if you had gotten bad enough, you would have jostled him and he'd fallen over and died.
19. I just reach into his pocket and one of his kidneys just goes. Well, that was a good sound effect. 19.
19. So inside of one of his pockets, you find the name. Augustus Lewis Prescott.
Fantastic. Well, that's on recording, so I don't need to write it down. Oh.
Like it's like a business card.
Yeah. That is precisely what I was looking for, yeah.
You find that on him. And you, and then the rest of you kind of like are ushered out of the square and are on your way. Unless you wish to do anything else.
So as he disappears, and whilst the green cloak's coming in, starting to disperse everyone else, would I have time to go up to where he was just to see if they've left anything? Because they were caught unawares and had to retreat immediately, is there anything left?
Ooh, you can... I will let you do that, but you need to make 2 checks. Stealth check to get up there quickly, and then a investigation check to see if you find anything.
That's a 16 on the stealth.
Ooh.
And 9 on the investigation.
So you get up there very quickly.
Destiny point.
Ooh, yeah, you do have a destiny point.
I really want you to get this. Go for it. Take mine.
8.
I don't think I've spent my destiny point. And I also
Then before you boost, I have +0 to investigation, so...
yeah, but you can brute force it.
It's not at all.
Yeah, go for it because I've got inspiration, which but yeah, use the destiny point.
15.
There we go.
Yeah, boy. It's like, but if I had more resources to expend for you on this, you truly would get them.
Yeah, because they are truly horrifying creatures and I wish to know more.
So,
That is some stranger nonsense, Brad.
that is this pretty good creature. Is pretty nasty.
Yeah.
So as you get up there, the music is getting louder as you get closer. Yeah, there it is. And it is infectious in the way that a really good earworm is, in a way you don't want it to be. And I think that's what you find is that music. But you also find something else. An odd thing. A child's toy? You pick it up on the ground and it's like a little wooden car. But like a really really ratty one that's been used and loved for ages and ages. So much so that there's no way that this would be ever given to somebody's child directly. And it dawns on you. This is an orphan's toy. That's what you find.
That's very specific.
It is very specific.
God, that's so fucked up, Brad.
Thank you.
I love it. I truly do.
Right.
Shall move on.
Was that a Memoria?
This is just something that's fucked up.
My question being,
Will this make him a warrior?
did anybody experience enough fear for the pupil to describe that bystander effect into hold person? Because I cannot think of anything more perfect.
I think I would say so.
Cool.
You can do that.
I know it's not technically what we discussed. It's just
Yeah.
bystander effect for hold person just glues together so
Yeah, it's very
nicely.
nice, yeah.
Cool. I'll make a note. Oh, that's so fucked up. I love it. Oh, do you mind if I, when the recording comes up, send this to my friend Jessie? Because she'd really get a kick out of this.
Yeah, sure. I don't mind if anyone. I don't mind if millions see this. So
Oh, they should, but I did want. It's polite to check, you know.
I feel conflicted about if I want to get big enough that millions would see it.
yeah, that's the
I'm
thing.
not sure I want that level of scrutiny.
I want the money.
The money would be nice. I would take the money in exchange for scrutiny.
Yeah, exactly. Money solves lots of problems.
Just
Anyways,
Oh,
as you kind of leave this area now, you move forward to your final destination. That sounded more sinister than I intended, but we are where we are, so let's move on.
can I interject briefly
Sure.
on the walk over?
Yeah.
Monica is gonna sidle up to Raylan and say, I've been having some anger issues lately, and I have been in danger of going too far. You don't need to pass an insight check to realise that Monica thinks she's already gone too far.
Fair.
If you think that I am going too far, I would appreciate the assistance in pulling me back, if that's something that you're willing to do.
I'm more than happy to restore order to you.
Thank you. I've got a lot going on.
If you want to talk about it, my door is always open.
I think I would, but got more pressing things to be dealing with right now. This is not the right place to be talking like that. I forgot to do that.
Is your hellhound out and about? Or
He is out and about, but he's just a regular dog right now, rather than the
Yeah.
flaming mane and huge claws and horns.
Was that conversation private, or was that loud enough for other people to hear? Like, specifically me, but...
It was intended to be just for Raylan.
Cool, that's fine. No, I'm not snooping, sorry, so... Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sleeping after that.
Yeah. No, snooping is what I meant to say. Cool, sorry, yes.
This isn't even the horror arc. I mean, we're not even there yet.
Oh, you spoil me. Continue.
Cool. So, make your way there. You come upon the lawyer's office.
So yeah, around the corner, maybe from the arbiters would have picked up a photo of Alice Cooper.
You have a photo of Alice Cooper.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
did it right here. So
I'm
I'll
still
just
halfling.
step
Oh, no,
into
I'm not,
an
'cause
alleyway.
I dropped it.
You dropped it.
Yep.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
Step into an alleyway. Study the photo.
Sure.
I will spend a real spell slot to do it.
On a scale of Better Call Saul to Suits, like how prestigious is this law firm?
So it's in the second ring. So it's not super. It's not. We're somewhere in the middle. it's a good analogy. Like yeah.
Like you've got a guy who just rents out space and then sees anybody. Then you've got like big law firm that represents like
This
expensive
guy has
clientele.
This guy has his own offices in the second ring. He does have expensive clientele because the Coopers were relatively well connected, but he's not quite Suits, because Suits would be like that would be like somebody who represents the old families, that kind of thing. So he's kind of like just a tier below them.
Does he have a partner? Like is this like a multi-lawyer?
So it probably would be,
Mm-hmm.
but So I'll give you the very like beginning of the description. When you get there, there's a large gold and black marble plaque which reads Finch and Associates, Banking and Solicitors, and is pressed onto the wooden structure of this two-story building. And then next to it is a well-polished steam car that sits in the driveway, and there is a balcony above that allows those who have offices above to look down on those below. So the fact that there is only Finch and Associates probably means that he's the only real lawyer in the bunch, but he may have aspirations to have a
pupil without any guile, prompting, or self-awareness immediately goes and presses its eye right up to the bumper to see if this is the car that killed Edward Cooper. Investigation?
Yeah, sure.
8.
You look over the car. It doesn't have any dings or bents or anything of that nature, but Edward Cooper was killed a while ago now.
Yeah.
So
It would be like hair caught in the wheel well if I rolled a nat 20 and it was there. That's the...
Yeah.
An 8 can absolutely represent just there's nothing there.
It should be like the amber line one that you have right there.
This one?
Yeah, it should be like that one. So there should be
Yeah,
one
I saw other photos, but it's of a dude.
that would be
George Cooper.
George Cooper. So there is another one for Alice somewhere,
Yeah, there's also on a paperclip another dude.
which is George Cooper from when his prison time.
Hmm.
Weird, but it was in there. So you do have a picture. I will say you have a picture. There definitely was one.
I study the photo, and then I use the hat disguise to transform myself into Alice Cooper.
Sure.
What is the
Caught in the bottom.
what is the plan here? Are we...
What is the plan? I'd like to know.
I think we want a private meeting with him, right?
Sure.
And I think the best way to achieve that is to go in as Alice Cooper, because he has been seeking the heirs, and we know behind the scenes he's been trying to kill the heirs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a private meeting, he would love to have a private meeting with him.
It would probably be best if I don't speak.
You all have a passive perception higher than 11. The other thing you notice as you come to the building, connected to the top of the building, running off into the city, is a thin wire. It winds around corners and is stapled into walls and onto poles. It disappears into city streets.
Telegram? Telegram?
There's no engineering. Make an intelligence check.
12.
Can I also make a check?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a check.
Ooh.
21.
21.
You know, specifically with your background, this is something that you don't usually see in the second ring. You might see this in the first, where they...
Shut up! I do apologise.
Sorry, it's the rolling up on.
I'm surprised.
We're about to get gangster in here.
Genuinely surprised it hasn't happened beforehand at some point to any one of us, especially to me, because I have my phone never on silent. So, anyways, this wire is something you usually see in the first ring or the canopy, maybe, and it would be a bit better hidden. This wire goes straight to a green cloak precinct. It is a way for them to be like, "Hey, I'm in trouble. Send me some shit, quick."
Great. Is that like a silent alarm kind of thing?
Kind of, yeah.
What would happen if the wire was cut? Would that is it like dead man switch thing?
With the 21, it is constantly sending a signal, say, "Hey, I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive."
And then it's when it goes off that it's the...
Correct.
Yeah, so
You interrupt the signal to cause the thing to happen. Now, with 21, I think you have the engineering know-how to disable it if you wish to do so. You got quite high. I'll give you some extra information. It's like second story, so you have to get up there.
yeah.
But it does probably wind into other parts of the building, so you may be able to get to it from other areas.
So how tall are these buildings?
There's 2-story buildings, so is that 20? So it's probably about 20 feet up.
So, but we're just going in for information, right?
Sure.
So, yeah. So no, I'm speaking.
Don't believe you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll point out the wire and that it's sending a signal so it can't be cut, but won't reveal that I might be able to disarm it.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So, yeah.
stats
Cool.
up.
Yes.
And I'm assuming this is technology rather than magic. It's like a detect magic couldn't find the wire or the button in the room.
Yes, this is definitely technology in this case. Yeah.
Is there a detect technology skill?
Spell.
Spell?
No.
It's called your eyes.
I mean, yeah. Let's be honest.
It's kind of like a magnetic field scanner.
Mm.
It's getting warped very quickly.
Yeah. Right. So,
No, it'd be 15 feet. I could teleport you 15 feet.
so you currently look like Alice. You currently look like
A well-dressed halfling who belongs in the second ring.
well, just having a response like a second.
He was
ring.
also shot in the chest 3 years ago.
Good to know. You look like normally, or do you? I believe you have the option.
I know what you're packing in your
Yeah.
features, my guy.
No, I will look like me.
Okay. And you look like you.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah. Where am
So,
I? Finest
what is the plan of?
So
egress?
I'm thinking my physician,
Okay.
because I'm frail and weak.
Ladylike.
Perhaps my humors have turned, and I am teetering on the precipice of what I once was.
Well,
Query, do we believe that...
Is it Mr. Finch?
Mm-hmm.
Query, do we believe that Mr. Finch is aware of what is happening to Alice Cooper?
Which part?
Information, the part where she has murdered 31 people.
Give.
Yeah.
I don't believe so. I don't think you plan to kill a mass murderer just like that. And
Had he known, there would be easier ways to get the inheritance as well. He would just tip them off.
Slayer rule kind of thing.
yes, well, but yes, I could come in and vouch for your poor health and inability to talk.
Well, I'm going to take the gas mask off, and that's going to severely have my.
Could I
ability to
double
talk.
check?
Mm-hmm.
That music's still going, should it be?
Oh, sorry. No, it should not be. That should be gone.
That's an amazing coincidence if...
No. He is not. He is not that.
You get in and all the figures around. We've been expecting you.
Jesus.
None of them have faces.
That's your stuff.
How respectable does Raylan look?
Very respectable.
It's a nice
Yeah.
dressing gown you got. It's lovely.
But
I got one too.
what is our actual aim here?
To find the location. Alice Cooper wants her inheritance, which
Yeah.
is the thing that we want, which is the amber line, right?
Yes.
Like in theory, he will know where all the assets of the family are.
Gotcha.
We also want to get our hands on the will, which in theory has been lost. Is that right? Am I misremembering that?
So, to clarify with the will situation,
Mm-hmm.
it was originally that Finch was going to be executor.
Yes, executor of the will, and technically he would inherit all the money.
And then
which
it
he
got changed, which is why he did all the...
Yeah, she got
Shenanigans.
out of the
no, he did all the
Sanctuary.
shenanigans before he realised it had been changed.
Yes.
He was trying to bump her off in order to get all the money,
because
but
he
it was,
already controlled her.
but then it was changed.
But he
wouldn't
got
actually-
hold of a new copy of a new will that said that actually he had all the executive power anyway.
Yeah, he had the executive power anyway, and then just before he died, George Cooper changed the not George Cooper. What's the name of the senior Cooper
Edward.
changed the will again.
Yeah.
To make it so that Alice inherited everything and cut Ripple Finch out.
Because she no longer, in theory, she was cured
She was
and
cured
no longer
and
needed
winning-
that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And copies of the will are probably in this bank somewhere.
I think we want to get our hands on a copy of that will,
Mm-hmm.
because then we can hold it over this guy. Maybe.
I don't think we should threaten him because we're committing a crime here, so let's tread carefully. But yes, I think we're going to try and antagonise him into trying to kill you. And that will give us the upper hand. That would be my vote.
What is this?
Sorry, that is the balcony.
It's a, it's got a statue on it.
above.
Hey, that's above. So if you move the token underneath and then focus it, you will see underneath the balcony.
There we go. Okay. I do like that.
I do like the levels.
Mm.
I think it's very nice. As long as everything's working properly. It's like, ooh.
There, and then people-wise.
Shall we then?
Oh, I can zoom out a little bit.
You can zoom out.
Come to
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
Way too far.
Oh,
Oh no. I think it should fit all on the screen, the whole thing, in theory. There's not much to it. It's just when you go up and down levels, it was going to be a little bit
Maybe you
weird.
could zoom in a bit more.
A little bit more, yeah.
You had it perfect before you.
I didn't.
You did
Very hard
try
to zoom in
it.
with a trackpad.
It's all good, dude.
Concentrate. Concentrate.
Helping.
There
Will do.
you go. Good job.
There we go. Should really look to see if there is
Ryan
like
really
a
is the tall boy
shortcut
of
to
this group.
increase or
How tall is
decrease
Ryan?
zoom by.
It's Furbolg's like
He's like-
7,
yeah, he's big,
7,
big.
8 foot.
Yeah, he's real big.
Wow, you really could just punt me like a football.
With a
I weigh
This is
30
me.
pounds.
with a 8 strength, absolutely not.
Maybe.
This is my big friendly dog.
Yeah, I mean, positioning wise, I'd probably. I was going to say be helping him, but I'm on.
I'd be-
I've got a walking stick anyway, so I'm not helping
I'd be
anyone.
like Dorman. I'm kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
she's had death threats, so
Yeah.
I think it's understandable she should get some sort of.
Like having like a bodyguard of some kind
Mhm.
wouldn't be outside the realms of possibility, and you do kind of look the part in terms of the size of you.
Mhm.
So
So I would go up first, open the door for.
Yeah, well, you hear a click.
so
Oh, this sucks.
you open the door into the lobby. Click, click. So you open the door. A long counter divides the room into 2 semi-equal spaces. On one side, you have a custom area with a small amount of seating and a few windows with bars on them for light. On the other, behind glass and steel bars, several bank tellers stand waiting to take your custom, all dressed in purple and gold. Monica, Monica is the only one who sees this. Placed in the corner of the room, just out of sight of the tellers, is a large steam container connected near the top of the glass partition, terminating a large cylindrical metal drum that runs the length of the partition. You also notice as you enter, as you're kind of opening the doors for them, you will be the first one to see these. In the top, so like I'll move the player token inside so you can see a bit better. There are 3 green cloaks in this room right now. One to your left as you immediately enter, one to your right, and one to the like top easty. So yeah, so you should be able to see 3 of them.
Left and over.
That's 3 boys. Along with them, there are a number of tellers who are eagerly awaiting your custom as you open the door for your thing.
Frog.
There is a frogman. There is a kind of heavier set woman. Behind the frogman, just kind of like standing, kind of like more observing, is a kind of very well dressed. They're all wearing kind of like purple and gold. He is like kind of like aloof and just kind of like a supervisor type, kind of standing in the back, and he's got like slightly pointed ears.
Out of character.
Mm-hmm. You love the frog, I know.
We all love the frog.
Yeah.
I suppose Joe hasn't played a frog yet, if I'm honest.
Do you know what? I was literally just thinking that.
How well do the
A
green?
frog in a tailcoat and a little hat, though, right?
I know, right?
Sorry.
How much do the green cloaks talk to each other with regards to the different rings?
I was
and
about
areas?
to say about why it's a shame there's no card as you were fishing the cards out. Sorry, apologies.
It's all right.
In terms of their individual precincts talking to each other, information doesn't spread very quickly.
Okay, cool. So basically, what I'm trying to ascertain is because we've opened, there are green cloaks in here, and we know that Alice Cooper is held by green cloaks.
No, George Cooper's held.
George Cooper is being held by the whatever George Cooper is.
Yes, that's
Whether
it,
that
yes.
is Alice or
Oh, yes.
something else.
It's because we strongly suspect that George Cooper is actually Alice Cooper,
Mm.
but yes, okay, yes, they might not have made the connection, yes. Well, presumably not.
And these are the 2 green cloaks. Well, they're just more generic. They don't have like specific names.
Oh.
These ones don't, anyways.
Oh, Gillian is a fancy boy.
Julian is
It's a fancy boy.
Obviously.
So it's Franklin.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So the four of you enter. The two clerks who are near the counters, they immediately kind of perk up and they're aware of your presence and they're just kind of waiting for you to approach them. You can approach either Franklin or Molly.
Is there any indication that people were watching for their reaction? Is there any reaction to Alice Cooper walking in?
Not from them.
Or the Green Cloaks? From like anyone I can see in the room, basically.
No.
Okay.
Not from any of these people.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll approach Franklin.
Yeah, I'll wave you off to go and
So
do
you
the thing.
approach Franklin specifically with like Alice behind you.
She's kind of like sent me off to
Sure.
Visibly gestured him to
Yeah.
move.
Alright, help you?
Alice Cooper to see Mr. Finch.
Alright. I will let him know. I broke Joe. That's just like one sentence.
I am just unaccustomed to joy right now. Have you seen the world?
I have. That's why I'm trying to inject small amounts of joy with like Franklin and some other people. Anyways.
Ask him more about his life. Does he have hobbies? What's his life story?
Does he have secretion?
No, we're not going to ruin this one.
Information.
This one must remain
It has
pure.
secretions.
Okay,
So I will give you a full description of Franklin as well. He stands about 5 foot tall. He's bright green skinned man with large red bulbous eyes, situated kind of like slightly on the other side of his head. His wide mouth, he occasionally reveals a long prehensile tongue, which he uses to wet his eyes on occasion. So when he's talking to you, go thump, and then back in. He's wearing a magnificent purple suit with gold trim and a fabulous top hat to boot. I will go get him. And he kind of like hops down because you realize he's standing on like kind of a stool. He hops down and kind of goes out the back. Yeah, he goes out the back, and the door opens. Make me a perception check as he opens the door.
13.
Nat 20.
Ooh, that's really good.
13.
Percept Ion. 18.
18. So cool. All three of you get it. You unfortunately not high enough. As Franklin goes out, he opens the door back. You see a woman sitting kind of at a like a little secretary's desk. However, you notice that her ankle is chained to the desk, and you see several bruises on her hands. And then she kind of like she just like turns as Franklin opens the door. You see bruises on her eye as well, and then the door shuts. And he kind of like, and you hear another door open, and then you hear stairs above you. And then you are. It will take a couple of minutes for him to come back. So what do you do in the meantime?
The dog's fur bristles slightly.
Cool.
I don't notice anything.
So did we notice them in the next stream then, not the actual tellers
So I will
themselves?
give you like kind of exactly where they are. So if I go to this one, he opens this door.
Yeah.
You should be able to just about see from your angle. You can with your perception check, you can kind of see her, and she's in that room and
Okay,
just around the corner.
Okay, but the tellers are in this room.
Yeah, they're in this kind of like little glass defended
cool.
area.
Okay, cool.
So she gave Franklin a look when he came by. Like, is it like out of fear? Or?
No, more like who's coming in the door kind of thing, rather than anything else.
May I call for an insight check from anyone else
Yeah.
on people?
Yes.
No.
10.
What did you get, Mike?
5.
Cool. So you were 8 more than me.
Oh, wow.
That is a low,
I think
low number.
Is this
now that people are standing in the presence of green cloaks, but is wearing this illusory halfling form, the halfling's face looks like worried, but in the way that, you know, like really bad animatronics that people have tried to give emotions and motors in the face looks.
Oh, like the presidents of the U.S. in Walt Disney. Yeah.
Yeah, like concerned or worried or probably not afraid,
Yeah.
but certainly like
Trepidatious.
Yeah, something along those lines. It is difficult to read, being that this is a robot's face wearing the illusory skin of a halfling, but yeah.
Could I make some kind of... Well, would I have any knowledge as to what kind of things would normally be going on in the back room of a bank? Considering
I think
my ties to the bank.
Yeah, I think you would know. So for one, the most obvious answer to this is the safe is probably back there.
Lowercase b.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, that's what I was thinking as well, but that is intriguing.
in this case, the safe is probably back there. Probably safe deposit boxes, some more secure areas, that kind of stuff.
But specifically,
like why would a person be
why would a
back
person be back there chained and
Sure.
be?
Make me a intelligence check.
This isn't like a 18+ remake of The Secretary, is it?
No.
14 total.
14.
Finding that
You
it wasn't
think
already.
like why would a person be back there? Why are they chained up? You cannot think of a damn reason out of the top, like anything you could possibly imagine. You can't think of anything that would kind of like link those two things together. Just because you, yeah, I can't give you anything.
That's absolutely fair.
Yeah. I think I've given you the information you need to work that out, but I don't think you're rolled high enough to get it.
And she's not anyone I recognise.
Unless anyone else wants to roll who's seen it.
Intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a nat 20 or a nat 1? It's nat 20!
Yes!
So, do you remember when Cooper Sr. mentioned that the will had been changed? He had changed the will. Do you remember he said it wasn't Finch he had spoken to, it was somebody else?
It was the secretary, and she's
Oh.
either being punished or not allowed to leave to tell other people.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
if this word gets out, then he is screwed.
Right now, the contents of a will are unknown.
How long ago was that event? Like, how many days do we think she has been...
She must have been, well, as long as your, what's it called? Adventure has occurred.
Yeah, it's not
At
like a
least
day or so. This has been...
She's been in here for
Weeks.
weeks maybe.
Yeah.
It depends on when he discovered the will had been changed. So if he discovered it very recently and was like, oh, and then was very, but it's been weeks probably.
Is it...
Although in theory, actually, we could work it out based on when the ad went out into the paper.
Mm. How visible was she from the door?
Not very visible. The only reason you clocked it is because your perceptions are quite high.
How likely do we think that any of these green coats have seen her in their time here?
Roll me an insight check.
Can I get all that?
And,
Two.
I reckon they've been paid off, but with
I reckon
a,
they've been paid
That's
off.
what I'm trying to... Are
trying to
these...
figure out whose side of the fence
Are they
on.
collateral damage or not?
13 and
I've got 6, so yeah.
you don't know. So like when you were looking to see, you maybe were too focused on
Mhm.
on her, not on them. I mean, the shock of seeing somebody in that kind of situation in a nice place like this, it's the juxtaposition of a person in slavery in the middle of, or at least a person in confinement in a place that should never, it shouldn't occur, especially not like this.
I mean, anyone who wants to roll insight on Monica probably doesn't need to roll
I'll do it with
insight.
disadvantage because
Sure.
people's freaked out. 12.
Oh, okay. Actually, you might not get anything.
Yeah, so.
I'd say DC as a 14.
The first one would have done it.
Alas. So you wait for a bit.
We've got a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
It seems like a really dumb idea, but
I love dumb ideas. I love
Listen,
bold.
I am on board.
who looks the most junior out of the green cloaks?
The woman to your left.
That one.
That one. Yes. Can I approach her and?
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, good.
get some
Yeah.
updates to this. Is that?
Pupil will be sticking right behind Raylan.
What is a is there a particular like etiquette when referring to, like, is it ma'am or miss or
Officer would
or
probably
officer?
be, officer
Perfect.
would
Yeah.
probably be the
Okay.
correct
Yeah.
one.
Brad, can you unpause? I'll start moving the
Oh,
tokens
yeah,
around.
sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you.
Is it morning or afternoon? Or
Morning.
morning. Good morning, officer.
Looks down at you.
Yes. Yes. I was wondering if I could inquire regarding a sensitive matter.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes. Would be the hypothetically, of course, if someone were to find themselves unable to leave a particular location, would that be of great concern to yourselves?
Stares at you for a second. Are you talking about a kidnapping kind of situation? Or what are we talking here? I mean, are you in danger?
No. I'm perfectly fine. But say a employee was performing a lot of overtime.
Involuntary overtime.
Are you trying to scope out his reaction to see if
Yes.
he...
Right.
If firstly, if they, I'm trying to work out if they know what's going
Yeah.
on, and if they
complicit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit. Well, I don't have a great insight, but I yeah.
Could I roll insight on... I won't necessarily know why, but Pupil is very
sure.
focused on the officers right now.
Sure.
2.
Okay. Neither of you get any information out of
Yeah.
it, like in terms of like her mood or Justin's. So she's just like, whatever's happening, I can. I don't understand. I don't deal. I'm brand new. You know, I just joined a couple of months ago. If you want me to go investigate something, I'm sure I can go. My senior officers over there, I can go talk to them. We can sort this out somehow. Is that what you want me to do?
No.
You seem a bit confused. Are you alright?
Low blood sugar, I think, is
What's that?
Well, I'm a doctor and I just need a biscuit. It's fine.
Alright.
Yes.
I have some for children in my here.
Oh, yes. Yes. I'm a very
I have a
childish
strange
doctor.
medical condition where if I don't eat enough biscuits, I begin implying people are being held against their will.
Well, I should know. I'm a doctor, you see.
Well, I try. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I've suddenly realised I should have gone for the more senior person, but yes, yeah. But it's done now, so I'm not going to ruffle any more feathers, and I will quietly eat my biscuit.
We are literally 15 feet into this.
So I think with that, unless anyone has anything else they wanted to do in the meantime between whatever that was and Franklin coming back, Franklin will have returned.
Can I position myself such that when the door swings open, I can see her? And would she be
Yes.
within 60 feet?
Yes, she definitely would be. She's within like 15 feet.
Could I subtly cast Healing Word on her?
Ooh. So healing only has a vocal component. I'm gonna need you to make a stealth check, yeah. Because you would be in order for you to do that, you need to see her, right? Is that the requirements of that spell specifically?
Yeah.
Because there's like one spot where
Creature
it's
of your choice that you can see.
right.
within
So
range.
there's one spot where it's the most difficult to see her, but that's the spot that's easiest to see her at is
that more in
there's
the
a
open?
green cloak right
Yeah,
behind
okay.
you. So
I will not. I will leave it for now.
Sure.
She's fine. I was just trying to give her a bit of
yeah,
comfort.
yeah,
but-
that's fine. I just don't want you to come into the situation unaware and be like, oh.
Absolutely fair. Cool.
So,
I'll just wait for him to
right. So Franklin returns. He will see you upstairs. He will see Miss Cooper alone.
Well, that's a slight problem. For she's badly injured, I'm afraid, and has currently lost her voice.
Oh, very well. A frog in her throat.
Well, yes, you could say so.
I'm very glad that you made that joke.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
Violently delightful.
Make a persuasion check. I'll let you have advantage.
Apologies. You keep going. Rather than the healing word, could I make a medicine check as the door opens, just so I can assess?
Sure. Yeah.
That is an unnatural 20.
With the advantage, that is a natural 20.
Nice. Okay. So we'll resolve the medicine check first, just because that's we'll move things forward. You do a medicine check, or you see her from the distance. If it wasn't an unnatural 20, you wouldn't get this. From this distance, you see that she has several injuries that are quite old mostly. But the injury you notice most of all is that there is quite a lot of damage around her ears. And when the door opens, she doesn't react to the door opening. She reacts to the motion, the movement, that kind of thing. But you don't think... It's in a way that is like not used to. An unnatural, like, I now have to change the way that I do and react to things because of something I've lost. You have with that kind of like you...
Yeah, the guy's taken her ability to hear.
Yeah.
Because it's inconvenient.
So, well, very well. I will take you upstairs. Mr. Finch will probably only want. Looks around at the four of you. I think the doctor is probably smart.
Information. It is a pupil.
Her
Assistant.
assistant. Are you supposed to speak
Bodyguard.
for? Bodyguard, assistant. I don't think the bodyguard is necessary.
I don't
Mr.
think
Finch
that's true
is
at all.
perfectly safe.
Uh,
Regardless, two of you can come with her. How's that? Well, I will make that concession because I think I have some good rapport with him, and if Miss Alice isn't speaking, she's incapable of doing so. You must present her wishes. Although Mr. Finch is also in her employ, technically. So, two of you may accompany her. I don't know which two of you are most important, but we will go with that.
I've picked up that you're nervous. So, well, the assistant to manage things. What's your stance on the matter? Because I can wait down here if needed.
It would be perfectly safe.
Yeah.
Mr. Finch.
Out of character, I think the most interesting thing is for you to leave pupil.
I
Alone.
In a room full of cops.
I can only end well.
Yeah, I agree. But I do understand that there's subterfuge, and you look shifty as fuck. So I'm like, let's not leave you sat there.
Me, the man with the hollow face.
Would you like to go up, or would you like to wait here?
I would like to go up.
Well, then I shall wait here and finish my
And
biscuit.
the assistant and the bodyguard.
Yes. Yes.
I will take you upstairs.
Just call me if there's an emergency.
We'll have to go outside. Employees only in the safe room, so we'll have to go through. And he kind of exits through this kind of side door that's down to the south side, and then comes around and takes you to the top area. And I'm gonna take a copy of the player token because it will probably be easier than trying to move you guys that way. And he takes you all the way up there. If you kind of click, yeah, there you go. If you click over there, it will trigger it. So he takes you up this way through this little waiting room. So a long hallway extends out, and underneath part of it is a beautiful green and gold run. To the west are two solid-looking doors, At the end of the hall is a door with a glass top half, and in gold lettering, it reads "Mr. Ripple Finch, Solicitor." And Franklin's kind of walking along with you. Mr. Finch's offices are just down the hall. I'll let him know you're waiting. And he kind of sits you down at this little couch, kind of on the end. He goes into the office wall and leaving you in the kind of waiting area for a bit, only for a minute or so.
You're right, grab the wrong one.
I appreciate that I don't know where the chained woman was.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I don't know about the chained
You
woman.
can make another perception check when they open the door again.
Okay,
Fair.
sure. That's way better, 21.
Yeah, you definitely you clock her. Especially you see her when Raylan is kind of positioning himself to see her better.
Yeah.
So
Where in relation to this is there a door that would go that way?
into the back room.
Into the room where that woman was?
You would have to leave the building to figure out what that is, but you think, based on the fact that Franklin went through, and then they went out, there might be a door that kind of goes around the same way. Because when you guys went out, you went up a set of stairs in the back of the building, and then into the
Kind of like a fire escape type
yeah,
thing.
kind of.
Okay, cool.
So
Before we depart, I will kind of like do the thing where I will say, "We will see you later," and I kind of slip you an eerie token.
Wait,
Victor, I think.
I'm the one
I'll
running
cast
behind.
it,
Yeah.
and then in your head you'll hear this is what that was to communicate.
Oh, lovely.
very well.
Yes.
A few moments later,
You're right.
Sorry, I just say it's a stupid thing that I'm not going to do, but you go. What?
Information. This will allow us to communicate.
Just following Raylan's suit.
so
Also, not doing that, but continue.
as you just kind of like waiting for a few moments, and a few moments later, Franklin returns. Well, he's waiting for you, and he ushers you into the room adjacent. Let me just get, because it's also going there, and then coming out from around the corner, this man. This man.
Oh.
Oh.
I smell her.
Was randomly generated that character specifically, and I was like, well, fuck it. It's already there, may as well leave it.
Yeah.
So
They're at the party, might as well dance.
So the inside of this room is much nicer than any of the others. A huge wooden conference table dominates the space, and you guys are all kind of like told to sit while Finch comes around from the corner. Set above an ornate rug, overlooking the table, is a beautiful painting of Arbor. And around the corner, you can kind of just see like that there must be like a little office around that side. And as yes, what's you? Oh, Miss Alice. Oh, yes. I didn't take
Detect thoughts.
Sure.
Sorry,
so
that would
are
have been
you-
as he was arriving in the room.
Sure. Are you doing surface or?
Oh, surface for now.
Surface for now. Cool. I think what you get mostly, because you're focused mostly on fear and things, he is like, there is elation, like, did I just get, did I hit the jackpot kind of thing? Like, oh my god, she's actually in front of me. And then there's this bodyguard, and there's this other person, and there's this other his assistant, and he's like, where have you been? I've been trying to contact you for weeks and months, and haven't been able to get a hold of you at all. I've been trying to action your father's will. Where have you been?
Information. This person is unable to speak. Information. They have lung damage.
Oh. Well, no matter, you can still do things. And he kind of is trying. Can you what is your relation to the Miss Cooper?
I am her protector.
Information. There is a doctor downstairs. Information. It is a pupil.
I don't know that profession specifically, but
I was trying to imply medical student kind of craftily.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Oh. I understand. Yes. It's just, okay. So you were looking after. Oh, do you? Are you from the sanitarium?
What
No.
surface thoughts do I get when he suggests that?
How deep would the surface go? I think this would, because he's kind of trained of thought on this. He would say he would get the surface odds of if she goes back, maybe I can get that way, declare her mentally incompetent, and she's kind of running through the kind of lawyer and logistics of like, if you're from the sanitarium, maybe she's going back, maybe she's not as well as she thought, maybe she's going back, maybe I can, kind of that kind of like train of thought of if I declare her mentally competent.
Information. It is an acquaintance of Edward Cooper.
Oh, you're
Surface thoughts on Edward Cooper?
fear. Of
Now you have said a word. Right?
Yeah, that's a word. There is definite like, oh no. And then make an insight check, you two, because he's hearing thoughts. I think want you to kind of you automatically succeed on all insight checks while the text
16.
triggered.
Is it two-way communication, by the way, with the token?
Ooh, 16 and
24.
24. Oh, geez, yeah. When you mention Edward Cooper, there is real fear there. There is real like, oh crap, I'm in trouble.
Query. Did you know Edward Cooper?
Yes, I managed his estate. Of course I did.
Query. When was the last time you saw Edward Cooper?
The last time I saw Edward Cooper, he was in this office. We were working out the details of his will.
Do you want to re-roll my insight?
No, you kind of like
What surface thought? Do the surface thoughts match?
I didn't want to say, but
they do. Like
Okay.
that is a genuine statement. That is the last time he saw Edward Cooper. There is with the insight checks. There is something like he's definitely holding things back. He is being very genuinely cagey. What brings Miss Cooper here today? If you don't, I know she can't specifically. She could write it down. I can get some paper if that's. Would that be helpful?
She has seen the advertisement you put out in regards to her will.
Oh yes, because we were looking for her. We didn't know where she was. We couldn't find her. We couldn't
And
actually
she
know
is
where.
now here.
Then we will begin. We will get the paperwork and we will get everything sorted out and everything will begin to move. If you will just wait here while I go get it. And he will go. He will get up.
What is he actually planning on doing?
He is. You're.
Oh, yeah.
From the surface thoughts from him, he is rapidly trying to figure out. How do I get a message down to the people downstairs to deal with this? And that's the kind of thought. It's like and the other thing is that guy looks fucking big.
So are we in a sub-waiting room or are we in a...
You're effectively in his office. Like around the corner, there probably is a desk where all the paperwork is sitting.
Could
So he's not going to a different part of him?
No, he's just like kind of around the corner.
This is his office.
This is his office. Yes.
Okay, where he sat at the desk. Do I see any cables or buttons or anything for the panic?
So
thing?
imagine you're like a conference room. He's going around to the office that's right. If you see on the map, there's like a little corner bit.
Oh,
His
it cuts
office
off
is
there.
is right around that corner.
Okay.
I will walk so he's still in sight.
Sure.
'Cause I'm not sitting down.
Okay, yeah. You kind of like go into the. It's like you're in like one corner. He's in the. You kind of slide downwards, so you can kind of like keep an eye on him. Let's see if he notices this or if he's going to be a bit stupid. He's a bit stupid. You watch him go to. Give me a stealth check really quick.
That's not good. I mean, I rolled a 5 on the die, so I suspect this is a 8.
8. What's his passive? Cool. So he does notice you, so he will change his plan slightly.
What does he think when...
He thinks, if only the big guy hadn't noticed me, I could have gotten out the door. Because
He's planning to flee.
There's a door there at the end of that hallway that you can't quite see from the angle you're at. Let me see if I can give you a better angle.
I think, and I'm really sorry about this, Pupil will slip something into your pocket, which is an eerie token, and will telepathically communicate to you exactly that information that he was planning to flee if... Don't think too hard about what's in your pocket.
So there's so you see like there's a door that leads out onto the balcony that you think he could have, if he could have gotten out quickly enough without somebody noticing, he could have like got all around. But he's clocked you.
Query. Really?
And then you hear papers being shuffled around.
Query. What manner of investigation should we take from here? Would you like me to pry the thoughts from his brain?
Can I respond to that?
Yeah.
Are you able to pry out the location of the Amber Line?
Information, possibly.
So
Is he like heading towards the door when he sees me? Like,
he
what
was
point do I
just
come?
about. Yeah, he was just about, and then he turned.
It's like, whoop.
Essentially, yeah.
You
See
could
the
always...
papers being shuffled around. Yeah,
I was really thinking I was going to be a bird. Sorry, Kieran.
Yes.
As you may have realised, Housekeeper has suffered an attack, which is why I'm here. I would appreciate it if you did not leave. We did not want to let anyone else in.
No, I was gonna open the door. He is caught in a loop and a lie, and he can't figure out how to get away without.
Query. Mr. Finch, what are you afraid of? Thoughts. What does he flick to?
There is a green envelope that is on his desk. That is the absolute source of his fear, and you do not know why, but it is terrifying to him.
I love that.
And you actually see his eyes dart to the left for a second, the two of you, as you're watching him. And he goes, "Why would you ask that?"
Is he looking at me?
Yes.
Can you make a wisdom saving throw?
Sure. Ooh, natural 20.
Silvery barbs.
Okay. I think his wisdom is not terrible. Okay, 14.
I think that makes it. Let me just check. Where's my... Oh, spell save needs to be under here. That does make it.
Okay.
So he is now immune to the effects of my hypnotic gaze for 24 hours.
Okay, so you were trying to hypnotize him.
Yeah.
Which he can't really know what
There is no... Yeah, unlike Detect Thoughts, there is no... they don't know if they have been whammied.
I do have to ask though,
Mm-hmm.
what are the components on silvery barbs?
Ooh, that's a good point.
But whilst this is going
It's a
on,
great
Monica is
point.
going to stand up and shuffle.
Just verbal.
Just verbal. So I think that'll be me with a bass under harmonic to the Mr. Finch. Query, Mr. Finch, what are you afraid of?
Yeah, I think that's the kind of thing, and he's just so kind of like rattled for a second. Like his will seemed like very, very strong, and then got significantly weaker, but still enough to kind of resist the hypnotic gaze. I think I would like to speak to Miss Cooper on her own. You can wait in the hall, and we can all there are private matters that need to be discussed. I don't know what all of you know and don't know. I know you are her assistant, and I know you are her bodyguard, but she will be perfectly safe with me. She will not be. You also
I don't think I need to share that one.
You get a mental image of a knife that he's carrying in his inside of his coat pocket.
I think you see a real change overtake people that you've seen once before.
Monica has got a rolled up newspaper.
Yeah.
Would you
What's
promise that
this
she'll
guy's
come to no
first
harm?
name?
Hmm?
What's this guy's first name?
Ripple.
Where's the knife, Ripple?
And what did you say?
Would you promise that they come to no harm?
So both those things kind of happen simultaneously, and you see a moment cross his eyes, and he looks at you first, Raylan. Of course. And then that happens. Oh crap! And he bolts. He's gonna run.
Not so much.
We're gonna do. We're gonna roll initiative.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna try and run as fast as he can.
Silvery Barb's initiative roll.
Okay.
4 on my
Jesus
initiative.
Christ, that one's hard to read. Okay. Yes.
Although I imagine it will be spent eating biscuits. So,
It might be.
yeah.
I am
my
using
turn, I like use an action to take
my,
a biscuit.
Then
dunk
use this to re-roll my nat 1 initiative.
Ooh, okay, good job.
It's 6, so 9.
It's a 9,
No, 8.
9 for you, okay. And I need to move you guys actually up here now instead of where you were. So I need that one.
Yeah, silvery barbs, you give yourself initiative. Is that right?
Oh, I can give myself advantage.
You advantage, yes.
Yes, I will. I will give myself advantage.
Very well.
Good shout. 21 for me. No, 20 Eldritch.
You were there. People. What's hard to... There we go.
I keep forgetting that part. Man, that's a fucking busted spell.
Is there? Oh, you were there. Okay, there. Now I need to roll initiative. Where's my button? Think. And then pupil, dingy, and dingy. And that one. And then I need one more person who's on the ground floor.
I do have a where at mini somewhere.
You see if I can find it.
Go for it.
Let's get ready.
Probably in humanoid monster.
That's what I was thinking.
And you, and
Or humanoid uncivilized.
I presume you haven't jiggled this around since last time you...
No.
So I need to go into the combat thingy and take button. So right, Monica initiative
11.
11. And
Oh, I'm so sorry.
that's okay. They were all on the edge, so I'm not surprised one of them fell off.
I've got a kobold.
That'll do it. Close enough.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and Victor initiative.
4.
Bigot.
Raylan.
19.
That's very good for you. And pupil.
20 Eldritch.
20. That is not his initiative. His initiative is this. Right. So, with that, we switch to fight music. And we begin combat. And pupil is first.
I'm going to move to right next to him.
Sure.
Can I see the green envelope on the desk?
Yes.
Mage hand.
Sure. Right to you.
I'm going to stare into his eyes while I open it,
Sure.
assuming I can do that.
Yeah. That's object interaction. You cast Mage Hand. That's perfectly fine. Yep. Cool. That is your turn, though.
Yeah. I will.
So, this is all happened in like 6 seconds. He's like looked at you, seeing you open the letter, and then
Then I'll move
to
if I can, still, because if I've still got movement.
Yeah.
And does he attack me as if I move away?
He can't he hasn't had a turn yet.
That's true. In that case, I will move back to here, and can I use my movement to like cower behind Raylan and Monica?
Yeah.
Dogger's there, so
Yeah.
you could get them back.
Yeah, I'll get into that space there, by the door, and then I will begin reading out loud.
Sure.
As the rest of the battle continues. Information. Let this be unequivocally clear. This message marks your final opportunity to fulfill your end of the contract. May I remind you that you assured us all be ready at the beginning of the second quarter. As is blindingly obvious to even the most dim-witted, the conclusion of the second quarter is but days away, and yet the funds have not been transferred to us. We have been more than generous with both our resources and our patience. We have provided a solution to your funding needs on a silver platter, with every step meticulously planned. It was at your insistence we adjusted the plan, and dealt only with the elder Cooper. You assured us that Alice would not be a factor in your ability to obtain the family's substantial fortune and pay us. Therefore, I will speak plainly. It is clear to all that you were incorrect. Alice is an obstacle, and it is upon you to deal with it and deliver the promised sum to us to fund Union. Any further delay in meeting your contractual obligations will not be tolerated. Do not test our patience further. And again, that twist on the last sentence.
He looks absolutely terrified.
Of course.
Not on that one.
No.
Nope.
That's the seal. That's tree. So that's Collegiate Arcanum? No.
That specific tree only is allowed. So I will give
Fucking
you.
church.
No. Make a history check.
I would genuinely really want to. Natural 20.
That seal only comes from the Silver Council. Only the Silver Council will use that specific seal. But it's somebody on the Silver Council, but you don't know who exactly, because there are lots of people on it.
You've been a naughty boy, Ripple.
He's gonna run. So
Yeah.
Raylan gets a turn first.
I must insist that Alice Cooper is protected, and more importantly under my protection, and when I say that, he feels a weight on him. I invite you to sit.
Ooh.
So bonus action was the under my protection.
Yep.
And then sit is the command spell. So
Sure.
he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
What's the DC?
13.
Let me double check.
It's close enough.
It's very close enough. There's no bonus. He fails. So on his turn, he will sit. He feels the weight of your thing. Your crow, who is sitting like nearby. Good job, boss.
How much does he fail by?
1.
He takes 1 psychic damage.
Ooh. And you see his eye twitch a little bit as he takes this point of damage as well.
Is that equal to the amount they fail by?
Yes.
Damn.
So yeah, on his turn, he sits on the ground.
I would be gesturing at his chair. I'm not gonna make him sit on the floor. I'm just gonna say
Okay. He moves to one of the seats and then just is
specifically that is further back into the room.
Yeah, because sit and there's a chair, so makes sense. So he moves closer, sits down, and then stares at Pupil. And it's not the words on it. It's something about the letter itself or the seal. You think now, knowing what you know about what's on it in the seal, it's the seal.
Does it matter that it's a gold version of that?
No. It's the seal on the envelope itself, especially specifically the fact that it's in an envelope is strange in of itself. There's a lot of weirdness now attached to this. So, and then that's his turn. He moves to sit down, stares, and there's just like, oh, Monica.
I think Monica is going to glower at him, but a lot of what Monica can do is
Let's not set this off as
Tiny.
fire.
so I might actually have Monica.
Cast off his escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is a click, And a from Monica.
So you're standing on the other side of him. Cool. So you stand over there, and you're obviously on the other side.
Yeah.
And I am going
This is
to.
trapped.
I'm going to take the dodge action.
Sure. So Victor, downstairs, make me a perception check.
Sure. That's actually not bad. 20, but not natural. Eldritch.
You hear above you the very fast movement of his feet, and then it suddenly kind of like stop, like as everything just kind of went quiet upstairs. The other people don't seem to notice it. Maybe it's a little too subtle, too quiet. One of the green cloaks is like talking, like kind of trying to chat up the one woman in the front, and kind of maybe that kind of conversation kind of like overshadowed everything else that was going on.
Cool.
But there's something going on above you.
Cool. I will telepathically send. I know it doesn't actually work like that, but Victor doesn't know. He will telepathically send a message. So is everything okay up there? And
The
wait.
ether, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So wrap back around to pupil.
Wisdom saving throw.
Sure. No.
How much did it fail by?
A lot. What's the save?
13.
15. He fell by 9.
Takes 9 psychic damage.
Oh, Christ!
So it's any
for me as well.
Whenever they fail an attack against their AC or any D20 test.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, that hurt. Yeah, so he's like,
Is he still alive?
yeah, he's still alive.
In that case, I'm going to take advantage of your very kind avenue into his mind to go into his brain and rip out the thoughts of the information I want to know. I want to know who he fears and why.
You only get the image of that green envelope, and that's it. There's nothing else. He doesn't know who the other end of that is.
Query. Do you not know who you're looking for? Who you fear?
And kind of just looks at the envelope.
Sorry.
Do it again!
I was doing acting here. I do like a real, like, scurry. Do you not know who you're looking for?
And then your image is replaced for a moment.
Yeah.
And it goes back.
What are they going... query. What are they going to do to you?
You get enough of a, like, everything and nothing of there's so much that it could be that it's like this fear of power of like this person has power and they are in a position so far above me that whatever they could do to me is so horrible I can't understand it.
What did you do... query. What did you do to Edward Cooper? And again, I'm not waiting for answers. I'm just rifling.
Drinking. Yeah. You don't get any information about that. He doesn't know. There's just no information there.
Yeah,
He
the
knows-
letter says that they dealt with Cooper.
I was meaning you, y'all, but yeah.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know what happened to him.
Query, where is the Amber Lion?
You immediately get an image of the safe,
Cool. Right.
which is below you.
Yeah, cool. Query, what did you do to the woman downstairs?
You see the image of him with the pommel of the dagger that you saw before, just laying into her after she told him the
That
change
she
in the
had-
wild. Yep.
Query, would you like to know how that feels?
I think that's where we end your...
Oh, yeah. Because my action next turn is going to be Phantasmal Force, but that was where I was intending to end as well.
Should we ask where the updated will is?
He is looking very hurt. A little bit past bloodied, I would say.
God, that's brutal.
Does it last until the beginning of your next turn or something like that? Or is it just
Oh, no.
Oh, it's because he lied to you.
No, not even that.
Yeah.
This lasts for an hour.
Ooh.
What?
Brutal ability.
I have certainly.
It's the main subclass feature.
Yeah.
I've suddenly made decisions on how much I want to annoy Raylan.
Cool.
I will just block the door for now. I think at the moment, you know what, I'm going to ready in action if he decides to bolt.
Cool. Yep. So it's his turn again. He is very hurt. He's looking at you. You're blocking both exits now. He does have an ability that lets him get out if he wants to, because he can move through your squares, regardless, because he has specific things that make. So, but he goes. Just let me live. I'll give you whatever you want. I'll empty the safe out for you. I'll give you everything inside of it, and you can go and out and Miss Alice, and I'll make the funds go to you. I'll give you the proper will, and I don't want to die. That's all I want to. I just want to die. I don't want to die. That's all. I want to die. That's so hard.
Why did you do this?
Money, lots and lots of money, so I could move up in the world, make and have more associates and have like a partner.
What is union?
I don't know. And there is nothing.
Yeah.
There is something that I don't know. I don't know. Please. I'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Query. No, sorry. Information. You asked me to promise that I would not murder. Information. I have no need to murder this man.
Excellent.
We're still getting stuff. Just very quiet.
Yeah, so it's nowhere near the volume it should be.
Where is that?
Cables.
Where are you?
Cables there.
There we are. No, that's not twisty. Is it in the front?
That's for the volume on the front, yeah.
Yeah, try
Let's
twisting.
turn it up.
How about now?
La 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 la.
La 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 la.
How about
Is that one still working?
This one should still be going, yeah.
That's good.
Sorry, I just noticed that.
Yeah, this one's still going.
Okay.
Great shout, Reg.
Yeah. Good song. Good song.
Looks like I might be getting a new microphone.
He's professing his thing. He's just gonna sit back in his chair and he's waiting to see what you guys do. Monica.
Where is my well?
Here's that. Over there. Over there. It's on my desk.
Query. Are the green cloaks downstairs in your employ?
Yeah. Yes,
Query.
Yes.
Do they know the details of what you have planned?
They've been talking. Yeah, yes. They're going to. There was, with the thing that happened in Mouse's apartment, I thought it was prudent to get protection.
Query. When you say the thing that happened in Alice's apartment,
The murder. There was a body found.
query. The body of the red nose.
That's the one, yeah.
Query. Do you know of any other murders?
All the ones surrounding the red noses who have tried to kill Alice. They keep sending me reports saying they keep trying and they keep dying and that usual thing.
Information. You hired the red noses to try to kill Alice Cooper.
Yes! Fine. Yes, I did.
Query.
Sorry, but
Who is George Cooper?
I don't know. There is no George Cooper.
Query. No, sorry. Information. George Cooper has been arrested.
Maybe it's just. I mean, Cooper's a common surname. It's just another Cooper.
A pupil. No.
Query. May it ask why later?
Yes.
You are getting a stream of consciousness of when you start asking about George Cooper, he genuinely does not know who this is.
How do we access the vault?
Downstairs, I'll show you exactly where you need to go, what you need to do.
No, you will tell us.
Okay. There is a password. It is a time-based one. You'll need to input there's a poster nearby. You just follow the poster. It's simple, and he kind of gives you the exact instructions of how to do it. And it's like, you just twist this and do this, and it opens. You just go downstairs. Be easy peasy. No problems whatsoever. You get, there is something else he is hiding.
Query, what are you hiding?
I'll go digging again.
He'll just go, the big chest, the stripy chest, and the kind of piratey looking chest. Don't touch the one that looks like has gold bands on it.
Is he being truthful?
Yes, 100%. When you detect thoughts.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we'll end the combat.
Does he give any indication of why when he says don't touch the one with gold? Like, does he envision...
You get a feeling of trap or something of that nature.
Yeah.
So.
Is this the... do I get the feeling that this is the best evidence of his guilt? Or is there more in the office?
There probably is more in the office.
I'm going to go start searching in his office.
Whilst he's looking away, I'm going to mime a question. Like, should I catch him over the head to knock him out?
How badly injured does he look?
About a little bit past bloodied. These are the relevant things you find.
Ooh, lovely.
Alternatively, that rope.
Do we need any more information from him? If he's unconscious, that proved problematic.
I have a question, Brad. Create pit.
Mm-hmm.
If you put it on the top floor of a building, what happens?
It's an extra dimensional
It
space.
is extra dimensional, okay. So that's the one that leaves it to Finch.
No, that's the one that gives it to Alice.
So, sorry, if there are no heirs, that's goes. Yeah, if there are no heirs,
Well, there is
position
an heir.
defaults
There
to
is an
Mr.
heir.
Finch. Yeah,
That's the one that's the one.
this is the one where it defaults to. That's the
Finch.
one where it defaults to Finch. This is the one where it goes to Finch, but this one
Yeah.
isn't signed.
Correct. That's the one that should have been signed but wasn't. You'll also notice some of the interesting signatures on that particular one. The one that's on the sign. This one.
This one.
Because there are 3 signatures there.
There are witnesses.
Edward Cooper, Reginald Snapper, Zelina Nellie Flint.
Idnia Nellie Flint. The murdered Green Cloak constable. The really high-ranking one.
Or the one who died in that expirtuation incident.
And who was the first person? Say
Reginald Snapper.
Reginald Snapper.
Interestingly, the Amber Lion clause doesn't change.
Yep.
It always has to remain in the family.
Yep.
Are there any more Coopers? Other than Alice?
Well, according to every person you have ever encountered who have had actual, like, verifiable information of the Cooper line, no. She is the only one. Just very curious. So, what do you do with Mr. Finch?
You could tie him up, gag him, leave him up here, and just in case we need more from him.
I can wait up here with him.
Looks really fucking scary about that. Okay, so the two of you are going down to the vault. Are you going to pick up Victor on the way? I'll let you do
How are
that.
you going to handle the green cloaks?
I will let you know. You will get this information for free. When you try to think about how to get to the vault, there's a way to get to the vault without going through the front.
Yeah, because the guy. Yeah. What I'm going to do is
Now that we're out of combat, though, detect thoughts only lasts for a minute.
Sure.
So
I'm going to put a bat.
Do you still have time for one more question?
that's Brad's.
Sure.
Yeah.
The location of the panic button in this room.
So, You get information back. There is no panic button in this room. There's one below. But you also get information that the panic button that you kind of like trigger back in terms of like the knowledge and the information is that wasn't installed particularly well. If it's triggered, almost everyone in that room is probably going to die who isn't like an adventurer. So the green cloaks might survive, but his staff would probably be burned to death
Fuck.
because it wasn't installed particularly well.
Huh.
Because you see this kind of thought as it's like playing out. You see that the shutters come down. There's a supposed to be like a harmless gas that's released, but because of the thing that's in the corner that you spotted, you spotted. You spotted
Yeah.
15. In the corner, it's kind of like not configured correctly, so it will spit out the stuff, but it also ignited at the same time. And the whole place will burn.
This is in character, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Except people will do this emotionlessly.
I think at this point Monica will put a bag over Finch's head.
Oh. This is the sanitarium there, isn't it?
The Cliff's Notes, I'll give this over in a second, but the Amber Lion was given to... It was put to be with Alice Cooper in January of 1926. In March, she woke from her coma, expressing inquiries about her brother George. She asserts she heard her brother's voice during her comatose period, and in April, her brother George was confirmed as an actual person and regular visitor. Given his consistent presence and Alice's apparent awakening, we are releasing her into her family's care.
George is the Amber Lion.
That's my guess. Or thereabouts.
Well, the Amber Lion lies
Oh
below.
God! This is the
Well, yeah, the Amber Lion.
This is the incident report of the how do we say that politely?
That
Kerfuffle.
kerfuffling. Yeah, the kerfuffling.
So I'm putting a bag over this guy's head,
Sure.
tying him to his chair,
Sure.
Unless George Cooper is.
and then whilst the bag's over his head, then I'm going to go. Should I? And then I disguise myself to look like him.
Ah, very well.
Yes.
So you go downstairs. Do you go pick up Victor, or do you just go straight to the vault?
Who do we want to stay with? Finch.
Raylan's
Raylan
staying with
was saying
Finch.
with Fish.
Can I have a read?
Yeah.
of
Oh,
the
please.
thing?
Yeah. Sorry. There's
Right.
the that's the
Obviously-
sanitarium one. Those are the walls.
I'm gonna send Brad something.
Ooh, I need a phone.
Oh.
Somebody's doing sneaky things.
I particularly enjoy the removal of his redacted in a most violent manner.
Rules as written, that suggests to me I don't need to see it happen. I just know when it's
Yes,
broke.
I would agree. Yes.
Would that distance be sufficient for me to be downstairs?
Yes.
I will ask him, do you promise not to run if we leave you here tied up?
He's unaware of what you are. Yeah. I'm not going anywhere. I'm tied up. I can't get out. It's not going to happen. Or no.
Very well. And I will follow behind them.
Do you want to make a survival check to see how well I tied him up?
No.
Okay.
So Victor, do you go collect Victor, or do you want to leave him out in front?
I think it's less suspicious to leave him at the front.
Sure. So the rest of you end up in the vault room.
But you have my token, so I will send you a message to let you
Okay,
know
cool.
what's going
Yeah,
on.
that's fine. Yeah.
So you get a message as you're kind of like coming down. As you come down into the vault room, which you should be able to see if you click off that token and then down into your other tokens, maybe, question mark? I'm not sure.
Ah.
There you go.
So this is upstairs.
So you should be downstairs.
Yeah, we did move to the downstairs one. There we go. Okay, this is the downstairs one.
Lining one wall of this room is several darkening boxes with a series of numbers and letters along them with a small lock on each one. There are 2 little desks in here with chairs and writing implements. A large picture of a red rat beaskin in a black suit hanging behind them. There are 2 reinforced great cherry wood doors to the north and west, along the rather imposing vault door to the north. Just to the left of the vault door is a motivational portrait that reads, "The time is now."
I'm not doing well today.
No, you're not. It's okay.
I'll get him in a second.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's going on the board.
That's a funny one. And sitting at her desk, seeming to have barely noticed you or anyone else, a purple-haired woman in gold and purple pores over writing selected a desk to her right, a small brass ear horn that has intricate scrollwork all over it, along with several pieces of machinery worked into the design. And then you have the vault itself, which looks like this. Show players.
Ooh.
Big honkin' fucking thing.
Can I move?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know how to open it. Do you do so?
Yes.
Inside, you find boxes, chests, and other assorted items are arranged neatly inside this solid steel box. There are more than a few lockboxes in this room, along with several smaller, valuable-looking containers. Everything has a small handwritten label with the name of item, owner, and date acquired, with the exception of 4 boxes. These 4 boxes.
Oh,
So
shit.
ignoring that one that you're currently holding.
Ignore the ones I'm holding. Yeah, this one, this one, this one, and this one.
Who wants what?
You were
Well, we-
specifically told, and I will, because this was fast, you were specifically told the one with the gold bands
Yeah,
doesn't look like a pirate chest, so that's this one.
that one. So
No.
don't open it.
Don't touch that one.
Okay, so avoiding touching that one, grab the others.
Oh, go ahead.
Shall I?
Pass me a
Yeah,
random
must
one.
be a random one.
Cool.
I realised that I did just touch that box in real life, but that's just because I'm clumsy.
That's fine. I will say, unfortunately, I think that one has broken.
This one.
No, the one inside there.
Was that me?
I think so.
I'm so sorry.
No, you open it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
As I'm physically not here, can I look inside the trap box?
You can, but
Does it just say boo?
no, it doesn't. It was going to have goo in it, but I couldn't figure out how to make it work.
Okay.
So,
Is this a potion?
it is.
Amber Lion.
Ba 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 ba.
So, along with that as well, there are 2,320 leaves. There are several gemstones. There's a hematite, tiger eye, herodondite, banded agate, turquoise, and lapis lazuli of various amounts. Along with these items are the item cards themselves as well that go along with them. because they have
Pre-identified.
them specifically.
Lovely.
Except for the amber line, which does not have one. So those 2 for those 2.
Potion of animal friendship.
Oh.
Drift globe.
So those people who really like Dune will recognize that drift globe. It is the,
Need to watch it.
Oh, yes.
I have never read or watched Dune. I'm afraid.
the movies are very, very good. I would recommend anyone.
That's a cool.
What
Well,
does
better
it-
ask specifically the
Need to glue that back together, obviously, but yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It is a
It's okay.
floating
I can glue it back
multiple-
together. It's just printed.
You can speak a command word to cause it to emanate the light or daylight spell once a day.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a daylight spell.
It follows you around. It goes
Yeah.
very useful because none of you have like dark vision. So
What would detect magic show me of the amber lion?
it is so magic it hurts. This thing, what's the equivalent of this thing? Imagine if you were to think about like trying to detect the radiation off of a banana while sitting next to Chernobyl. That's the kind of level of magical power this thing's outputting. It makes everything else difficult to detect because it's so much power in it.
If you just allow me a little bit of narration, I think you see that the eye, the bio eye in the middle of the people's face, like the lens just sort of clouds like it's been blinded, and then a new one swivels into place.
Who touches the amber line?
I guess Monica. Disguised as the dude.
Sure. As your hands touch the golden line, the smooth surface is cool to the touch in the way that most gemstones are, but deep inside, you can feel warmth. As you hold it, you begin to see ghostly shapes move around you. And as they solidify from smoky forms into solid lumps of flesh, you see a man in a hospital uniform slowly approaching the bed of a young woman. She's still in the bed, and by her gaunt features has been for some time. The man advances on her further, grabbing a pillow as he goes. The man presses the pillow down to the helpless woman's face, but she doesn't move or struggle in any way. There's a bright flash, and from a corner of the room, you see a looming figure lurch out of the darkness towards the man. In the struggle, the man's knife is drawn, but the figure, impossibly quick, disarms him of it and proceeds to use it on him. The figure is brutal, clearly overpowering the man, and when he has him beat, whispers in a tone both quiet and deep, "To the pain."
That's the incident report.
As you
by
wish.
the signs.
Yeah. And then the Memoria kind of like collapses in on itself and disappears. And you have the Amber Lion. And there is no one pursuing you. You may leave. You feel him escape and try to make it so. What happens?
So he's starting to try to.
He's out. So he's like.
Because
He has skills that do not fit a lawyer.
Or perhaps fit a lawyer very well.
No.
Okay.
So what happens as a result of his breaking his promise to you?
So he feels like a great weight pressed down on him, and like I imagined, like, you know, like the creaking of a wooden ship, like that sound of something
Oh
old
yeah.
and big and wooden just creaking as something is broken. And mechanically what happens is I think I would have chosen this ability, which is whenever he makes, because he's already cursed in another way,
Yep.
that curse multiplies. Whenever he makes a d20 test, he must subtract 1d4 from the total before the result.
Sure. Okay. So in his escape artist check, I guess would be the like equivalent. Okay. Right, and then do 4. Okay. So that creaking, and it's supposed to just be a creak, and then there's like as something breaks, and you hear as something hits the ground above you, like a body hitting the ground, and you feel like a release, and nothing else. And I think with that, all of you realize you're probably safe to leave. You go around the front.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to try and pick lock on that woman's ankle.
Oh yes, sure.
Yeah. I'm thinking, want to heal her ears. First, I'm going to go back upstairs, collect my bag and my my rope.
Grab your
Check to
stuff.
see if he's got a key on him
A key for...
for the chain.
Oh, yeah.
If you
Oh
don't-
yeah, he
if-
has a key. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Rather than you having to pick the lock if you're disguised as him.
But while he's doing that, you can be picking the lock.
No, I can't.
Oh, yeah. You come back with a key.
Yeah, I'll come back with a key.
Open the door.
Anyone who's with Raylan can make a perception check.
I think the
Insight check.
raven also just says in your ear, "Shouldn't have broken a promise." should he?"
12.
You don't see it, but what the camera sees is a wave of power just flutters over him for a second, as the more powerful curse gives me back a spell slot.
Ooh, very nice. Go.
When we get up here, is it obvious how he died, or is he just like light gone out?
I don't know. It's just more psychic damage. All of this is compounding it, and I think
Looks like one just had a heart attack.
yeah.
Or an aneurysm or something.
Should we go down and
That's perfect for you guys.
Oh, yeah, the dog.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Grab
Yes.
the bag and the rope.
This is also. I could choose necrotic. I would be choosing psychic. This is all psychic. This is all
what kind of... people wouldn't be the one to do this, and I don't know if either of you guys are. But the suggestion is certainly worth making. What would be the check to stage this like he's had a heart attack at his desk?
So what the weird thing is with this, you get up there, and it is like that already. Like, some aspect of the spell is making it so that
It's bad luck.
It's bad luck. Like he just died. I mean, somebody in Raylan's profession might be able to tell you something more happened. But beyond that, it's very weird.
Let's leave Mr. Finch in his office then.
And all of you leave.
I disguise myself back as
As Alice.
Alice.
Pick up Victor.
Head downstairs,
Finish
go
your
to the
cookie.
front.
Yep.
Victor.
And you, the four of you leave the Ripple Finch and Associates, and none are the wiser for what has occurred within its walls. As you're leaving, approaching you is Messenger. Hands you a letter.
To me
Hands any of you a letter.
But he's not looking for one of us. He's just like.
He seems to have found your group.
Is it like that? Is it Oblivion where the messenger would always find you? So you'd be on the top of a mountain.
There's a smidgen of that, yeah.
To my dear associates, I have it on good authority you've accomplished your goal in case of the Amber Lion. That was bloody quick. I have excellent news, and we more accurately secret have located the Cooper children. I trust that with the lion in your possession, you'll be on your way back to the library to reunite the lion with its rightful owner, whoever that may be. Sincerely, the Arbiter, and that is a flower, and that's the correct flower.
Well, and it was delivered by messenger as well. So, well, could be disguised self, as half the party aren't even looking like themselves.
I trust no one, and indeed am not capable of trusting anyone.
So did it say that the Cooper children were
Located the Cooper. Secret has located the Cooper children.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And that they are at the library.
I guess head straight back there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's do that then.
Sure. The trip is long, though. Do you want to take a
cab? Take a
Take
cab.
a cab.
Sure.
I think this is a take a cab day.
Do you want to identify the Amber Lion on the road?
Oh, if I can, yes.
Yes, of course you can. There you go. That should give you all the information you need. There is more to it. It's a very complicated magical item, far more than fit on a single card.
Attunement. When attuned to this lion, a user may summon a powerful spirit to protect them. However, that same spirit slowly drains their life force until they die.
Ah.
Mm. 30 minutes left. Good times. So, you make your way back. We make our way back to the library. Where's my TV? Activate the hideout. There we go.
You're playing that Coyotl from Slumbering.
Oh no.
That's a lovely line as well.
Thank you. I'm really happy with the way that one turned out. All of the final props are very, very nice. I really like them. The line is particular, like the color on that is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. We want this track, I think. Yeah, that'll do. It's not exactly what I intended, but it will be fine for now. Yep. So, back at the library. As you get there, do you talk actually as you're driving back, or do you just kind of sit in silence about the kind of like results of your
I think as soon as the cab door closes,
you're starting to cast the spell?
well, while that's happening, just swivel straight to Monica. Information. It is now later. Query. Why?
Because your questions were giving him information he did not possess.
Query. Why is that undesirable?
If he had managed to get out, you were giving him pieces of the puzzle that he was trying to solve that would have put Miss Cooper in danger.
Information. We do not want Miss Cooper in danger.
Correct. Our mission was to obtain the Amber Lion so it could be reunited with its proper owner.
Information.
putting Alice Cooper in danger compromise the objective?
I believe so.
It's silent for... I think it probably interrupts the spell casting as well, because it goes silent and is sort of chugging away in the... Query. What do you believe the objective is?
I think we all have our own objectives, don't we? The immediate objective was to obtain the Amber Line. And the reason we were looking for the Amber Line was so it could be reunited.
So it could be observed.
Well, possibly more than that. Returned to the owner, both Alice and possibly George Cooper, who.
Information. It believes George Cooper is a powerful spirit that slowly drains Alice Cooper of life force.
Well,
Ting. Identifying.
Yeah.
Hands a card over.
Yeah, the card appears in front of you.
well, that isn't. Can they unattune from it?
Information. Unknown.
Yeah.
So you would get the full information as well. Kind of like the cards, the physical cards don't have the space because
Because it's a real life card, yeah.
real life card. But the real, like the ones that exist in the universe have the full things. She can break the attunement at any time, and cease the thing that's slowly killing her.
How long will it take to kill her?
It depends how strong her will is. If her will is very, very strong, it could be months, weeks, or days. It depends. It's a wisdom saving throw at the end of every day that she keeps it active, and apparently she's been doing it for a while.
She doesn't even know she's got an active, by the sounds of it.
Because she never identified it, never saw the card.
She just turned it on.
Is it granting her sanity?
Based on that, no. She woke up on her own as a result of probably the traumatic event that was occurring to her. Woke her up.
The adrenaline forced electricity down the neural pathways of, oh shit, I'm dying, I should really get up.
Yep.
And in doing so at the same time, activated the line to
The
save
line may have activated as a result. The line may have activated at the same time as she was being killed, saved her life, and then she woke up as a result of, I'm dying. So.
But it does seem slightly odd, because it was a spirit to protect them. What sort of protective spirit keeps trophies?
So you would read from the card. The spirit isn't a mirror of the person who summons it. It is the darkest impulses of. It is designed to do one thing: kill and murder and maim. But it does it extraordinarily efficiently, and it is brutal. And in its kind of mentality, if it's like I keep getting attacked, and these people are the same, and they're very similar, do it as horrible as possible to make it so that no one else comes after them. Apparently, they didn't get the fucking message.
Yes. I suppose as she was being drained of her life force, the blackout, she then coincided with the attacks, and she assumed that she was the Johnny killer. But
Information. Alice Cooper was the Johnny killer.
well, she believed so. Yeah.
Information. The Johnny Killer was a Gestalt entity created by this as a social construct by the belief in that the murders were perpetrated by an individual serial killer. Therefore, for all intents and purposes, Alice Cooper was the Johnny Killer.
Yes. I can see where you're going with that. But are we assuming that this has been going on for so long that George Cooper has materialised as a result, or is this a actual genuine person that hasn't been identified yet? As in the spirit comes and goes as it pleases, but George Cooper is almost the black sheep of the family, or has been cast out and their identity denied.
Information. George Cooper appeared during those. So do we recognise the figure as George Cooper in the Memoria?
Yeah.
Information. George Cooper appeared at the moment that Alice Cooper was being subject to attempted murder. Therefore, it is reasonable to assume that George Cooper is the spirit. And the spirit is George Cooper.
Oh, it was George Cooper, because I didn't realise it was George Cooper that we saw, just a dark figure. Right,
So
okay.
I will give you the full item description. Crafted from the amber of the great tree, the amber line is a truly wondrous item. Once per day, the owner of the amber line can, as an action, create another version of themselves. This version of them has all the hit points they do at the time of creation, in addition to being stronger, faster, and all around better in every conceivable way until dispelled. The clone gains 50 temporary hit points. They have advantage on attack rolls they make with simple martial weapons. When they hit a target with weapon attack, they do an extra 2d12 force damage.
Dance's transformation.
It's like a supercharged Tensor's transformation, but it creates it like a super clone. They have proficiency with all weapons, armors, and shields. They have proficiency in strength and constitution save. They can attack twice instead of once. When they take attack shots turn, they ignore the benefit. The usual thing about extra attack. They're proficient in all skills and tools. Their movement speed is doubled. Their AC is set to 20. In addition, the item is sentient and manifests its sentience to the item and the creation it makes. Its personality is chaotic evil, with one caveat. It is insanely protective of the person summoned, murdering and butchering anyone who so much as looks at the person the wrong way. In addition to this, it is also slowly draining the life force of the person who summoned it, causing blackouts and severe mental impairment and eventually death. When the summoner dies, the creation is free to roam as they are until a new creation is summoned from the line. Only the original summoner of the manifestation can end the summon, and even a new tune will not stop this life-draining effect. Donk. So only Alice can stop it.
So we should get back to the...
Yes.
And probably for your own protection, people, you probably shouldn't speak or interrogate Alice in any way, shape, or form.
Information. Very well.
Yes. Yes.
Goodness me. Yeah. Head back to the old library.
Yep.
Okay, so you make your way to the library. Walking into the library, you feel a sense of unease, like a storm brewing, or a great decision to be made. Walking past the front entrance, the secret appears and leads you through a section of the library with 2 rooms adjacent to each other. She motions to the 2 rooms. The door is closed. A peephole allows you to see inside. Just below it is a name plaque. One reads Alice, the other George. You are free to interview the clients at this point, but as the person who's most interacted with the case, it's up to you to decide who the line ultimately belongs to, or doesn't, as the case may be. And there are 2 doors in front of you.
I see. If we give it to Alice and explain the situation,
She will be able to deactivate it.
yes, and thus effectively ending George Cooper's existence.
Information. She would still be able to summon this George Cooper when she felt threatened.
Yes, but what sort of life is that to not have free will, to suddenly lose control or existence at any moment?
Gonna peek through the peephole of George Cooper and just give him a visual inspection.
He is very much the man that you saw in the picture of the when you got his arrest report. He looks haggard and kind of like that. But he still looks, in that way. There's a really interesting picture of a person who's in a business suit standing next to monsters and demons, and there's a way that they look of there's violence about this man that belies his appearance. Is that kind of look. That he kind of like paces back and forth as he's kind of like waiting.
And then looking through the peephole of Alice.
You see a woman who is let's see, Alice, there she is. She's reclining on a couch, her fragile form enveloped by the soft fabric. Her cheeks are sunken, her eyes hollowed. Yet delicate beauty lingers despite this. Beneath closed lids, her lashes cast gentle shadows against pallid cheeks, while strands of light blonde her frame, her light blonde hair frame her small, delicate face. Her wrists, once robust, now seem fragile, though her simple dress bears faint stains from days of wear. Its quality is to care for appearance.
I think we need to give the Amber Lion back to Alice.
I agree.
And looking at her, I think the sooner the better.
Information. It has a message for Alice Cooper. Query. You have mentioned that it should not speak to Alice Cooper or interrogate her in any way. Query. How may it pass on the message from Edward Cooper to Alice Cooper?
Perhaps in written form.
I'll dig out the actual transcript where I was ghostwriting with the pen, and I'll hand it to Victor.
Yeah. If it is handed in a neutral way, it shouldn't be any problem. It was more if you start asking her what her greatest fear is in
the manner that you like to.
Yes, yes.
What I want to do.
That could be perceived as aggressive, and a rather swift and unfortunate end may.
Information. Experiencing harm compromises the objective.
Yes, I did think that yes, you two together, and we are. Yes.
So we're all in agreement.
Well, not agreement as such. Whatever choice that we make, we pick one life over another.
I'm going to pick the one that's not a homicidal maniac, who, when the other one dies, will go on a murder spree.
How you doing, buddy?
Can I make a whiz save?
Sure.
I can't remember what. I don't know what the DC would be in this particular case.
So I think we made it such that you only trigger it on the absolute like natural ones. So we kind of moved you up the track like this. You've ever seen the
Unsleeping
anxiety?
City.
Yeah, the anxiety tracks and the ones.
Yeah,
But you
unless
can-
the specific whiz save was cool, where you set the DC, but it's kind of middle of the road. Such a. Yeah, no. I think things will remain. Yes, yes.
If there was another way,
I would pick the same person, but for different reasons. She was there first. She is the original.
There's only one person, this Alice Cooper. Why are we
The other's a
discussing a
construct.
construct?
a construct that will go on a murderous rampage.
Hypothetical. This creature is, for all intents and purposes, George Cooper. The Amber Lion should rest with a member of the Cooper family. What would happen if we gave the Amber Lion to George Cooper?
Alice Cooper would die, then the construct would die, then there would be no heirs left of the family.
Well, no, I don't.
When Alice Cooper dies, the construct
It's free.
is freed.
Yes.
Until
He's,
somebody else tries to use it, the Amber Lion.
But if there is no other Coopers and only a Cooper, we don't know, but it's possible only a Cooper can attune to the lion.
That's what I wondered.
No.
Okay.
Any of you could attune to the lion as well.
What?
Well, anyone could technically do it. But what would happen is that so until Alice dies, so this is mechanics. Until Alice dies, he will continue to exist regardless of whoever attunes to it. When she dies, if no one else is attuned to the Amber Lion and no one has summoned anything, George will continue to exist. If somebody reattunes to the lion and summons something, that George will vanish at that point.
What happens if George Cooper attunes to the Amber Lion?
That was my question. I don't think we should do it. I am interested to know what would happen.
But as a scientist, it's a very interesting question. But I appreciate.
I imagine that he would continue to exist in perpetuity because he would have to summon the other creature to.
It would have to choose to summon another clone, at which point it would cause itself to not exist.
I mean, there is also the other problem actually that I've just realised is if we were to return it to George Cooper, we would consciously be sacrificing Alice Cooper.
Yes, that's.
And that could also be seen as a threat.
Information. You believe in the preservation of life and that it is important. This is an objective.
That's a query, not information.
Yeah, but Joe's very tired and very anxious. Query. That thing, what I said.
That thing, what I said.
Repeat the last.
You believe in the preservation of life. This is an objective? Question mark.
No.
Well,
I think it's time.
I vote to save Alice, and he will raise his hand, but it kind of shakes slightly as if something is but yeah, his hand still raises.
Eternal tension.
Yes.
I think we're all in agreement then.
Is that what you do?
So yeah, open up the Alice door.
Sure. Open up the Alice door. Alice is lying there. She kind of like slowly bats her eyes as she kind of wakes up a little bit. She's very tired. Hello. Do you know where my brother George is?
Yes, he's just in the other room. We mean you no harm. We've simply returned some of your property to you. The amber line. Yes, we have found some information about it.
Quite lovely, isn't it?
Well, this is why we wanted to return it to you, and again, this is we are just going to provide some information.
Yeah.
There's no ill intent. Yes.
This just means Victor laying it on a little bit too thick and it's starting to sound threatening.
There's a homicidal maniac next door, so
Yeah.
But yeah.
One in the room as well.
Yeah.
There's one in the Victor. There's a one in the Richter.
Yes. Yes.
Victor, yeah.
Unfortunately, I believe you have inadvertently or purposefully attuned to this, and when you do, you gain a guardian spirit, as it were, who will protect you against everything. But unfortunately, it is at the cost of your own life force.
Information. The lion has been causing your blackouts. Information. If you would like the blackouts to stop, you merely need to sever your connection to the lion.
The guardian spirit is the Johnny Killer. Not you.
Oh, that is very good news. What of my brother George then?
Yes. Final piece of the puzzle. Yes, he is the spirit. We believe.
No, he's my brother George. He's always protected me, of course, but I wouldn't call him a protector spirit. He's my brother.
Oh, of course, and of course, if you're right, and you unattune from this, then you will regain all of your sanity and energy, and have your brother. If we are right, you will have all of your sanity and your energy, and the memory of your brother.
Can you make me? See, I think you're dealing in half truths here, and skirting around a lot of things. So I think your choice, persuasion or deception.
I'm going to go for persuasion because I'm not intentionally being deceptive. I'm simply trying to lay out the facts as I understand them, without
You're not trying to be guileful.
You're
You're trying to
I'm trying-
coach it in a way that she can understand.
Yes, I'm trying to be delicate to someone who is presumably dying and also struggling with the potential loss of her brother. I may use my inspiration to reroll that.
Can I give the help action as I've been talking as well?
Yeah, sure.
Can I not help at all? Because I think I'd make it worse.
Okay, so
Sure.
so that currently, if I've got the help action, then I get my inspiration back, and that's an 18. What do we think with that? Because that's a 15 on the dice, so that's a strong roll.
I think it's worth using the inspiration as well, and then you get a choice of either
Yeah.
that 18 or possibly something better.
No, it's a 5 again, so yes. I will take the 18, please.
Sure. I'll wait for Rich to come back.
Yeah, of course.
So with the very good persuasion, she says, "Oh, might I see my brother one more time before? Just so he can come into the room."
But, well, yes, I see no reason why not.
Do we need to cut now?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Because you can voluntarily unattune for something without touching it, right?
I don't know.
No,
That's out of character.
sorry, that's out of character.
Out of character, yes.
Yes.
Out of character, yes. You don't have to touch it. You can
Yeah,
voluntarily
so there should be no harm in her saying goodbye.
The danger is that he persuades her to stay. Yeah, persuades her that he should stay.
Well, then that would be her your choice.
If you are, I know my George is my George, and he will still be here after I am attuned. You are. I believe you are. I will do as you ask, and I will unattune to it. But I want to see my brother.
Detect thoughts for surface thoughts.
On her?
No.
Who?
George.
I'm going to roll insight on her if she is being truthful about this.
Sure. You roll inside. Surface thoughts on George, who he is next door. What's the rule and what's the specific wording on detect thoughts? Is it a creature or is it a humanoid?
That's such a lovely question, and I'm about to tell you the answer to it.
23 on insight.
23. You think she is being as truthful as she can be? She's very, very weak.
It just says creature. The only caveat is the intelligence score.
Oh yeah, he's definitely intelligent.
3 or higher.
Yeah. He's definitely got that and a little bit more.
Just the surface.
So the surface thoughts are the most prevalent thought. And the most prevalent thought is, where is Alice? She needs to be safe. I need to protect her. Where is Alice? And over and over and over again. And that's all you get.
The rooms that they're both in, obviously we don't know specifically about the joy, but are they reinforced in any particular way? Because I'm curious why they're both just sat in the rooms waiting.
It is a beautiful little room. Upholstered, the fabrics, the couch that she is sitting on and he is nearby is upholstered deep blue fabric. The walls of the room are each wall pair a strange deep pattern that is difficult to look at for long periods of time, making you squint and readjust your vision to determine if you're truly seeing the shapes, patterns, and movements in the deep blue walls. And there is a small round glass table sitting in the middle of the room and a pitcher of water and a cup next to it. But other than that, it doesn't look reinforced particularly, but they're waiting very patiently. Both of them. As if they have been promised something.
Yeah.
My brother George, please. I don't think I have the strength to stand.
Well, yes. Should we?
Let's bring him in.
Yeah. So we'll leave the amber line with her.
Okay. So you go to the George door.
Yeah.
Open the door. You see George standing there. George is standing. He's kind of like. His gaze is fixed on the intricate patterns for a bit as his hands poised to touch them. Upon noticing, he turns swiftly, and his piercing blue eyes lock onto yours with very sharp intensity. My sister.
Yeah.
She's requested to see you.
Yeah.
Follow
Yes.
us.
Very good. Adjusts himself and follows you. He's clad currently in his prison garb. So he comes in the corner, turns, sees Alice. Alice, my dear, good. You are safe. Have these hurt you in any way? No, dear. No, not at all. He would fuck you guys up.
Yeah.
George, I'm afraid she is very weak. Her life force is being drained by the Amber Lion. We believe it is active,
Yes.
and we believe that it is you who is draining her life force through that.
Yes.
Does this sound correct to you?
Where is the Amber Lion? It's with her, isn't it?
It's with her. Yeah.
She's holding it.
So he crosses the distance between them and kind of kneels down in front of her and looks her in the eyes. And I want you to make me a persuasion check, and this is very important. So whatever juju you got, I can use it.
I have a +1.
That's not a good amount of juju. I will let you have advantage.
Cool.
Because you kind of like are all, it's a collective kind
Yeah.
of weight.
Mhm. Anyone give me the help action here?
I mean, I will if
You've
I
already-
can.
you've already
Yeah,
got advantage,
But,
so-
but
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
Well, that first roll was a natural 1.
Right?
Okay, that's a natural 10 for a total of 11. Does anyone have any inspiration they can throw this way?
Spent it in the
9,
previous row, I'm
11.
afraid.
No, I didn't.
You have a destiny point, I think.
I will use my destiny point. Worse.
Okay.
Total of 11. Silvery Barb's forces you need to take the lower. Does it make me reroll?
It makes you re-roll.
I didn't take the lower, I think.
Yeah, might be take the lower, not sure.
There is a way around it, but it's a super bullshit gamey way, which I don't particularly think is.
Oh, is that make me
make
take the
me
lower?
do something? Silver Barbs myself and give you the advantage,
Yeah.
but no.
Okay.
Must re-roll the d20
And use the lower roll.
Yeah. Cool. Alright.
But oh no, yeah.
So he kneels down in front of her. And he's now touching the Amber Lion wall kind of like in front of her. And he looks at her and goes, You know I killed them. You know that the truth of the matter is that I am what you made me. A protector and a killer. And she, no. She kind of quiets him. And it is the former that I am at this moment. And he grabs the lion and shatters it on the ground. And as it shatters, the attunement seems to fade. As he does. And you just hear on the wind, I love you, dear sister. And he vanishes. And Alice is distraught. Did I do this?
Alice, this was not your fault. And I'm going to throw a healing word in with that.
So you recognize, as you cast the healing word, and it washes over her.
And this, rather than being like a cauterizing flame, this is more the warmth of life.
Sure. You realize what was killing her wasn't a loss of HP or like mechanically. It was levels of exhaustion that were
Yeah.
slowly just pulling down her. And she kind of looks and says, "Thank you. I'm. If you did all those things, he was just trying to save me."
We know he was doing that to people who were trying to hurt you. He was not an out-and-out monster.
No, he was my George, and he saved me. If all of those killings, so many, who would want to hurt me like that?
Information. Ripple Finch.
Mr. Finch. And I think with that kind of like shock to her system, she goes unconscious.
Yeah.
And I think
I will leave the letter that you've written about her
It's a
dad.
transcript, but
Yeah. I'll kind of address it to her and place
leave
it
it there.
Yeah.
As you leave it there in that room, the door kind of almost shuts behind you as the four of you leave.
Ooh,
And
we
you
leave
see-
her will with her, don't we?
Yeah, we'll leave the legal documents.
Secret's standing there. Well done. Good job. We will contact you again when the next mission is ready. We will take care of Miss Alice and make sure that she is taken care of to wherever she desires next.
Query. How did it come to pass that George Cooper was released from prison?
George Cooper was released from prison because they had very little evidence to tie him to any murders. Funny thing, the murder weapon has gone missing. It's not like very many people who died were exactly absolved of sin, shall we say. But for now, you all are free to do whatever you like.
Information. Incorrect.
You may do as you please. But we do the men of payment. 2,000 leaves for each of you. And you are awarded 2,000 leaves. And with that, the case of the Emerald Lion is closed. Woo! Well done. And we will leave it there for tonight.
Sweet.
And next time will be the downtime session, I believe. Possibly leading into the Ebony Key.
Love that.
Just for argument's sake, how do we all feel about levelling up? I don't think so.
No.
I would love to say yes, but no.
No.